right, everybody. Yeah, we had to start off with that god-awful music again. I didn't really have anything else to get going with. Welcome to the second ever Friday Unhappy Hour, coming to you live once again from our humble abode here in Fairfield Township. We are, as always, powered by Green Legion Radio and part of the Green Legion Radio family. And as always, we do thank you for joining us tonight from wherever you may be and whatever service you're using to tune in. So pull up a chair, turn up that volume. A lot of times you don't need that with my loud ass. Use the company dime if you're still stuck at work, and good Lord, on a Friday afternoon, evening, I hope you're not. Crack open a cold one, and let's have some fun as we finish off this week's hostage situation and look forward to another almighty weekend. How the hell are all of you? I see we got some folks in the room here. Lou Mancini, hostage situation over, my friend. You damn skippy, brother. Keenan Harmon, this music sucks nuts. That is for damn sure. We are going to have our guest tonight. I just want to run through all of the normal startup, and then we're going to get right to it. Going to have some fun tonight, and hopefully we won't be on for hopefully it won't be too much of a shit show like the last time we did this. So, Fito, if you're in the room, I see you are in the room. There's your link. Go ahead and get backstage there, brother, and I will bring you on in just a couple minutes. As always, folks, if you're tuning in on Facebook or Twitter, please do not forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe to the Green Legion. If those services are where you're comfortable, we totally understand, but I promise you that the YouTube channel is the best way to view, or listen, and comment on any Green Legion radio show. So please do us a solid, even if you choose to be on Facebook or Twitter. Go ahead and get over to YouTube, search the Green Legion, hit subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications, and show your support by sharing us everywhere as well. If you cannot watch our shows live, you can always watch or listen later on any of these services, but also on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. As for Green Legion business, you've seen the posts, all of you who follow the Green Legion. Early bird RSVPs are available for all away trips. Obviously, that doesn't include Kansas City. If you get in on that one, you are getting in on the full trip. Okay, so everything else is early bird, and that's Los Angeles, Seattle. Where the hell else are we going this year? Tampa, Dallas, New England, New York twice, Washington. It's a full slate, folks. So get in while you can. If you are interested in Kansas City, please, like I tell you every week, don't think that you can wait until August and think you're just going to hop right in. I promise you, once that schedule gets released in just a couple of weeks, these things are going to fill up, especially your hot ticket ones. LA, Kansas City, we all know is going to be a rematch, and everyone's going to want to be on it. Get in now while you can, and before it sells out. I'm telling you, it will. Green Legion is the best way to go about it. Here, let's get this thing started here. Glug, glug, glug. 305. Ashley's in the room. Darling, I missed you guys' show last night, and I feel terrible about it because I should have been in there, and I need to make a better. I need to do better about getting in there with you guys. Also, Green Legion business. Do not forget Bud Light Baseball Brunch with Greg Murphy and Chris Sack every week. Best Phillies talk out there. You will not find it better. You guys all know I'm a Yankees fan. You also know I have a soft spot for your Phillies. I enjoy listening to those two every single chance I get, whether I'm watching it live or I end up checking it out later on. It's always a blast. Those two are absolutely awesome. Also, next Thursday, first round of the draft, Green Legion Radio draft coverage of round 1 next Thursday night. You guys remember last year, they did an awesome job, right? All the emotion in the room when we traded up and we got Jordan Davis. And then right on the heels of that, the big trade for A.J. Brown. You saw Diaz jumping out of his chair. It was a really awesome time. Please don't forget to log in and at least listen to the cast with the Green Legion for Green Legion Radio first round draft coverage. They will, as always, do the best job. They are the best in the business. As for this show, we're here Friday night on Happy Hour. I've been telling you for a couple of weeks that this past Wednesday, my daughter had a choir thing, so I had to move to Friday. So we're going to try to have some fun tonight. I like to hope we have fun every time my loud ass comes on here. But tonight being Friday, we're going to try to kick it up a notch. I have not given you guys a good rant in quite a while, and I think you're in store for a couple of them this evening. Maybe Fito is going to be able to reel me in a little bit. He's pretty calm, but I don't know. Some of these things really piss me off. And would you believe it? Next week, next Wednesday's show marks 1 year of the Unhappy Gilmore show. That's right. Unhappy Gilmore will turn 1 year old next week. So I hope you guys can all make some time next Wednesday night to hop on and, heckle me as usual. Yeah. So that's what we got going on here. Let me hop over to the room again. Ashley is active in here. Keenan, the cheerleaders in the house. What up, sports babe? Ashley says, Jalen, man, oh man, we talked about that last night. What a contract. He will be like, not even 30 when it ends. Yes, very true. But it is also, that contract is great on both sides. Because if you look at the, and I'm sure you guys covered it last night, if you look at the cap hit for the first little while, it's not much. So 2023, the cap hit is 6.15. 2024, 13.5, 2025, 21.77, 2026, 31.77. So even when the cap hit starts to creep up, keep in mind the cap is going to continue to increase, right? The NFL practically prints its own money. So the cap is always increasing. So as his cap hit increases, our cap space is going to go up as well. It is a team-friendly contract, and it gets Jalen what he wants. It allows us to keep that team together and add pieces around to hopefully make another push. Keenan, did Quimby get off the island? I don't know, man. I was razzing him when he said, my first attempt to get off the island. I'm like, attempt, right? Missy in the house. How you doing, darling? What up, Grumpy Pants? Yep. It's the unhappy hour on Friday. We haven't seen Fito come in backstage yet. Let me post this once again here. And we'll keep doing this. Even when Fito comes in the room, we will keep putting this up for you guys. If anybody else wants to jump in and talk shit, that's what we're here for, right? Especially on a Friday if you all have the time. Anyways, to get right to it. So since the start of the year, I've been doing something called Boner of the Week, right? You guys all know what it is. We find some schmuck who, in the world of sports. Oh, there he is. Give me a thumbs up there on your screen when you're ready to pop in there, brother. I'm watching him in backstage. You guys all know that I've been doing the Boner of the Week since basically the start of the year. So every week it's somebody in the world of sports, whether it's an athlete, a commentator, some idiot like me, or somebody out there who just makes a colossal mess out of something. And even when we struggle to find someone, somebody or somebody's always delivers. This week was no exception again. Couple different directions we could have gone, but I've got two, and then I've got two that I had, and then today I just lost my shit about a group of people on social media who have absolutely driven me insane. So Fito, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, bud. Yeah, no, he's saying hold on. So we're going to start with Draymond Green, okay? Constantly making waves. And I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I feel like he does it selfishly, right, to boost his own, whatever. Sabonis was in his ear the whole game. We all know it, right? He was razzing him, he was elbowing him. He was, even when Draymond finally did stomp on him, Sabonis had pulled on his leg first. But the problem is, like, Draymond, you've got this reputation. You've got to know that the minute you do something wrong, you're on center stage, bro. That spotlight is coming right onto your face. And what does he do? He allows himself to get riled up, and he loses his cool, and he steps on a guy. So, like, what were you thinking here? Do you think Sabonis didn't know what he was doing? Of course he knew what he was doing. You get the guy riled up, he's going to make a mistake, and you get him out of the game. And not only did you get him out of there, you got him suspended for a game. So, I mean, hats off to Sabonis, if you're asking me. This is the fourth time he's been suspended. Obviously, the one previous to this, the most notable one, the 2016 NBA Finals. Golden State, ends up going up 3-1, but in that game 4, he hits Queen James right in his hoo-ha, And he ends up getting suspended for game 5, right? Cavs were down 3-1. Now Draymond gets suspended, and it really felt like that turned the tide of the series. It felt like, that was kind of a spark. Okay, you hit our guy, and then LeBron went crazy those last 4 games, and they end up winning the title. We can go on and on about Draymond's antics. I personally think all of this stuff it's old now, right? Like at first it was like, okay, he's kind of like the Dennis Rodman-ish. He's a little bit of a hothead and everything. But now it's just like, dude, like you can't allow yourself to get riled up like that, especially in a playoff series. So definitely he was a finalist for this week's award. The other finalist I had, we'll go back to Lamar Jackson. Ashley brought up Jalen Hurts' contract. Well, we all know now, although Lamar's denying it, that Lamar was actually offered more guaranteed money than what Jalen got. I mean, Jalen had the bigger overall contract, but the guaranteed money was bigger for Lamar. So we all know he's an idiot trying to get he thinks he's going to get the Deshaun Watson contract, and we've gone over this a billion times. Nobody is doing what Cleveland did. Cleveland's stupid. Cleveland is the factory of sadness. Cleveland always delivers when you need something screwed up. And they went ahead and they gave a pervert, with 25 or 27 or however the hell many cases it was against him, $230 million guaranteed, the whole contract guaranteed. Knowing he was going to get suspended. And this is the contract that Lamar thinks he's going to get. Nobody's getting that money, bud. Right? We all know he's an idiot for not hiring an actual agent. I'm not saying you can't love your mom. And I've said it before on this show. I'm sure she's a very nice lady. I'm sure she's a very smart lady. What I'm also sure of is she does not have the relationships with the owners, with the coaches, with the scouts, with with whoever to get a contract done. We all know if he's got an actual agent, he's got a contract, but he just refuses, right? He sits there and then mocks people for making fun of him. You go, oh, yeah, I got offered this. I got offered 100 and whatever the hell million it was. Yeah, I really need an agent. Yeah, you do, because you're still flopping in the breeze out there. There's a reason why Baltimore went ahead and just tagged you with the non-exclusive tag. Sure, you come back, you'll play for $32.16 million or whatever it is. But right now, you can go and talk to whoever you want about getting your big old contract that you think you're going to get. And nobody's giving it to him. This cat from the MVP season to now has regressed significantly as a passer. And he's also missed, I think it's 10 games over the last 2 seasons. Like, dude, you're just not reliable. Right? So when you take Jalen and you take Lamar and David Conner, he's not in the room, but him and I spoke last night, and he was dead on right about it. When you take the two of them, right, and you look at Jalen, who has progressed each year, and then you take the flip side and you look at Lamar, who had the MVP season and has now regressed every year since then, along with injury, why does this kid think he's even worth what Jalen got? And yet still Baltimore tried to give him that contract, and he turned it down. Boner of the week candidate right there. The total value of Hurts' contract, $255 million. Jackson's was going to be $250. The fully guaranteed at signing, Hurts, $110 million. Jackson, $133 million. The total guaranteed overall, Hurts, $179.3 million. Jackson, $200 million guaranteed. And he turns it down. Now he's disputing the numbers. So, like anything, there's probably one side, the other side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. But either way, he got offered a massive deal and turned it down because he thinks he's going to get Deshaun Watson money. If that's not a boner of the week candidate, I don't know who is. And before we get to the rant, as if you thought that was a rant, Lou Mancini, yep, it's coming, brother. Who do we got over here? Keenan. Hurts' agent also has great legs. Got to be plus in a room full of dudes. Very true, but she did a great job, right? Fito, are you thumbs up or thumbs down, Holmes? You ready to go? All right. before I get to my rant here that he's going to have to deal with as soon as I bring him on, without further ado, let me introduce, and I think I can say it this time, the president of the Bridgeport Co-ed Softball League,
It's
Mr.
safe.
Whiskey Hill himself.
My man, what's up, brother? How you
Fito
doing?
Mata, how are you, my brother?
Man, it feels forever. Like since the last time I've been on the show, it's been months.
That's what happens when you work 16 hours a day, Fito.
Oh yeah, 16, 15, but we're not gonna let DOT know that, right?
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, you're taking your breaks. There's no wrong.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, brother. Glad to be back on. What's up, Green Legion Radio and all the fans? I see you got a good amount of people on there tonight.
Yeah, we're doing all right. Getting off to a good start. Got our usual suspects in the room. Keenan, Lou, Ashley's been in here.
Yeah, so I was trying to get the headphones to work for whatever reason. So can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you fine. Guy, can everybody hear Fito okay? Because I can hear him just fine. Just holler if you guys can't hear him. Just send up a message saying you can't. But I think you're good, brother.
All right, cool. What's going on? Hey, nice shirt. Nice shirt.
Right. I can't. By the way, I've got to order new ones for the kids. They grew out of them.
Really?
I got it. Oh yeah. I mean, I would tell you, the boys were grown out of them last year, and I made them wear them anyways.
Well, don't forget we have the hats. Yep. These are the fitted too. So we have hats, we have hoodies, shirts, obviously jerseys. If Michelle's interested, we have the Razorbacks for the ladies. We have the cool sleeves that you can wear. Yeah. That's really for the basketball kids. I know it's popular with the kids mostly.
Yeah, gritty, but you'd have to get one that's extra small,
super thin.
Like his wrist is like that big around.
So. Yeah. What I missed, man? Well, I was
nothing. I've been going off boner of the week candidates, and you're just in time for the one that I'm really pissed off about. I had it down. So I had it down before today. I had it down to just Draymond Green and Lamar Jackson, and I was fine with that. And then last night into today, I mean, you guys all know I joined a whole bunch of social media groups for Eagles fans to try to drum people up to come to the back porch. So along with that comes the bad, where you end up seeing stupidity at its finest level. And so my winner for boner of the week, all of you dipshits who play Madden with the salary cap off and are clamoring for the Eagles with the number 10 pick to take BIJAN Robinson, the running back out of Texas. Now, let me preempt this by saying this is not about BIJAN Robinson being a bad football player, okay? I think he's great. I think he's going to be a really solid running back in the NFL. This is about the Philadelphia Eagles and the fact that we are not drafting a running back at number 10. I don't care if Jesus Christ is available at running back at number 10. We're not drafting him, right? It's just not going to happen. Right now, our entire running back room, that's Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott, Trey Sermon, and Rashard Penny, at max would cost us like somewhere a little over $6 million for the year. Okay? Cap space has to be, this is the part that these people can't get through their head. Cap space has to be saved somewhere. How many more times does Howie Roseman and the brass have to show us that they just do not invest high draft capital or high dollars in the running back position? It's just not something they do. Howie builds from the trenches outward. That's how this roster is built. You have to skim somewhere. You can't pay top dollar everywhere. And if you add a number 10 pick, if you drafted him, he'd be paid somewhere middle of the pack as far as running backs. But you could have kept Miles Sanders for practically the same price. Okay? So now you get a rookie for what? I've got 4 running backs, mind you. With that offensive line, and you're standing next to Jalen Hurts, a lot of running backs are going to look really good in that offense. Miles Sanders ran for 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns last year. Miles Sanders, okay? Like, I don't need Bijan Robinson. And what I don't need are these idiots that think that this is the surefire pick. What is the matter with all of you? I don't understand.
Aren't you building your D-line anyways?
Look, if we trade back, I'm not going to be upset. If we take the best player available at a position of need, I'm not going to be upset. If we take somewhere in the trenches on either side of the ball, I will not be upset. If we draft Bijan Robinson, I am going to go I'm going off the grid. I'm done. Like,
you
then I can't figure anything out at that point. Right? I'll go shovel shit somewhere for $5 an hour. Like, I just, so all of you douchemongers saying that we have to take this running back at number 10, you, in my opinion, are the collective group, the boner of the week this week. And to me, it's not close. And the closer we get to draft day, the worse these conversations are getting.
Yeah.
It's constant. I take my morning crunch, and I got, I'm on the phone, and it's just people. Oh, we got all of them with their little fake mock drafts. And every single one of them's got Robinson at 10. I'm like,
well, let's do our top 3 here. What's your second best? What's runner up for boner of the week? I mean, Lamar.
So I had Lamar and I had Draymond Green, and then these fucking people. So
yeah,
did you see what Draymond Green did?
Yeah, he stepped on
Sabonis, and got himself suspended for a game in the playoffs again. Right, just making a mockery out of himself. Lamar, to me,
he has to stay relevant, right?
What's that?
He tries to stay relevant, right? It's a show for him all the time.
That's what it is. He's got his podcast, so he's trying, he's just trying to stay in the limelight, man. And he doesn't even need to do that. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He just acts like an idiot. To me, the bigger one of the two is Lamar.
His mom being his agent, like
his mom is his agent, right?
Yeah,
like, that's a problem. And like I said before to all the folks before you came on, I'm sure she's a great lady. I'm sure she's a very smart lady. What she doesn't have is the connections and the relationships with NFL brass. She just doesn't have it, and she's not going to have it.
Money? He turned down money for guaranteed money, didn't he?
The rumor is he turned down a total value contract of $250 million, fully guaranteed 133. I'm sorry, fully guaranteed at signing 133 million, total guaranteed 200 million. Now he's disputing some of the numbers, so we don't really, it could be whatever. But what he's turned down here, his guaranteed dollars were higher than what Jalen Hurts got. He turns it down because he thinks he's going to get Deshaun Watson's contract. Nobody's getting that contract.
No way.
The factory of sadness in Cleveland always delivers. They're stupid.
Right? And look what happened to him.
Like, look at him. He went and gave $230 million guaranteed to a dude that's a borderline freaking. He's a pervert. So
this is not the rant yet, right? We're not ready for the rant.
Well, I just ranted about about the BIJAN fans.
Okay, I'll give it a B+. That was pretty good.
I'll give it a B+.
Pretty good.
So look, as far as the draft goes, like I said, just take the best player available at a position of need. Running back's not a position of need. Or trade back and get more picks. Right now, we picked twice in the first round, once in the second, once in the third, and twice in the seventh. Got to get some more picks in the middle of the round. Middle of the draft. That's where you build your roster. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
So, the Bijan Robinson stuff, really, it's under my skin. It's going to get worse before the draft. And I have one more show before the draft. So I may be completely unglued next week.
Yeah, the draft here at our house, it's a yearly annual holiday. Desi gets in the kitchen, she makes all the fun finger foods, and we get out there. It's usually the first or second round. Other than that, it's whatever. But I'm gonna have to dig deep on this Robinson or Bijan, see what the hell
he's the Texas running back, so he's easily the best running back in the draft. He's okay. The kid's a stud, he is, but the Eagles don't need him. He makes no sense for Philly. No. It's just not how we build our roster. And you're not going to invest more draft capital in a position that you don't need to. Right? We're still a little thin at defensive tackle. Lane Johnson is not getting any younger. People tell me I'm crazy. I like the offensive left tackle out of Northwestern, Pete Skowronski, 6'4", 313 pounds. He was recruited as a center. And then as a true freshman in 2020, COVID year, ends up starting all 9 games at left tackle. Second team all Big Ten. The following year starts all 12 games at left tackle. Second team all Big Ten. 2022, conference, he was the Big Ten. He was the best lineman in the Big Ten. First team all Big Ten on the blind side.
Right.
Now you're going to draft him to take Lane's position when Lane hangs him up. Lane's the right tackle. So it's a little less pressure. That's a different position to learn, but I mean, he's going from center to left tackle. I think he could hop to the other side of the line.
What are the
I'm
Eagles
just saying, play it safe.
like?
What's that?
What are the picks looking like for you guys?
We pick at 10 and 30 in the first round. Howie's going to trade back somewhere. He's got to get more picks in the middle rounds, right? And that's if you're going to take a running back, that's where you do it. Like what's his name? Kendry Miller out of TCU, 6 foot 225. He ran for 1,300 yards last year at TCU. What do we got over here? English in the room. I'm okay with the kid from Northwestern. Yeah, man. It feels like a safe pick. He didn't miss a game in college. Right? And he plays in the Big Ten. It's not like you're grabbing some dude from some D2 school and taking a flyer on some butt nugget, right? This guy, he's up against Ohio State. He's up against Michigan. He's up against Penn State. He's up against competition week in and week out, and he's huge, 6'4", 313. So I'm good if it's Skoronski. If one of these, the other position that Howie tends to skimp on is linebacker, and that pisses Quimby off something awful. But and we all got that last year when he was ranting and raving right on cue. But I mean, I don't know. Does Will Anderson slide down? I don't want anything to do with Jalen Carter. It's not so much to do with the drag racing thing. It's much more to do with. Well, I had notes.
I was gonna say you're pretty good with the notes.
I had notes. The
Niners, they're looking pretty good with a bunch of picks. I mean, they're coming down to third round. I think it's 3 in the third round, 4 in the fourth. Let me see. Let me grab my phone here.
That's where you build your roster, man. Is the picks in the middle of the round, right? Everybody likes the butt nugget comment. So Jalen Carter, and there's talk that he may slip to 10. Personally, I'm out on Jalen Carter. He did look amazing at Georgia. I get it. And we are thin at defensive tackle. He's 6'3", 314. 6'3", 314 pounds. Pair him back up with Jordan Davis could be quite an imposing sight. I get it. But, he had the racing and reckless driving stuff. So that's like, all right, he's young. You could chalk it up to being a young knucklehead or whatever. But then the workouts come in front of scouts, in front of GMs, in front of coaches. He opted to only do positional workouts. Okay. So what that means is he did not, the full workout would have included your 40-yard dash, cone drills, other things of that nature. He chose to just do position workouts. And then it was reported that he couldn't even finish just the position drills because he was winded and out of shape. So couple that with the drag racing and the nonsense off the field, what you have is a kid who's a little it's not clicking up here. Either that or it's a kid who's just walking around entitled because he's dominated everywhere previous, right?
Right. We forget about how these kids are.
And then there's another fact that I'd like to bring up in how many, and this is for all my Eagle fans here, how many Georgia defenders do we want to take before we find the one that was much more a product of his environment than he is talented? I'm already slightly concerned that was Nakobe Dean. We're going to find out this year. But how many more times do we want to take that chance? Somebody in that group is not as good as they looked in college. They're more a product of all the guys playing around them and the Kirby Smart kind of scheme than actually being that talented. And I don't want to keep going back to that well and try to figure out which one it is. That's where I sit with Jalen Carter. Who do we got here? Mike English. Take Carter in a heartbeat, but he won't be there at 10. English, I get it. I get the size and the strength and the freakish ability that we saw at Georgia, but dude, he's been wicked irresponsible off the field with his conditioning. Just take his conditioning alone that hasn't been there, and then couple it with acting like a knucklehead drag racing. It's not a good thing.
What's going on with the kid, the wide receiver at TCU? He wasn't invited to. Yeah.
Johnston, 6'4", the poor man's Randy Moss, 6'4".
He's a big kid.
15. Yeah, he's a big kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been kind of just focusing on where the birds would go at 10, which has been tough.
Right.
It's a deep draft for corners. So my thoughts going into the offseason was that we were going to lose either Bradbury or Slay, keep the other one, re-sign CJ Gardner-Johnson, and take one of these stud corners at 10. But then we let CJ go, seemingly rightfully so with the way he's behaved since, and we kept both corners. So now I'm like, well, where the fuck, you know what I mean? So now I'm like, they're either gonna. I really believe they're either gonna trade back to get more picks, or he's just gonna take someone in the trenches that's the best available at that spot. What about the Niners? Where are the Niners looking? Because I hate you guys for taking Javon Hargrave, right? have we covered that yet? Have we get that out in the open yet?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think I sent you the text and bust your balls a little bit about it.
Shanahan can fuck himself with a cactus twice.
Yeah. I mean, so far, we've got 3 picks, all compensatory picks, with all the coaches and, via the Dolphins, Denver. I haven't really looked into it. Obviously, like I told you, I've been living under a rock or basically living at work.
Right.
But we've got 3 picks in the 3 picks in the 3rd round. It looks like 3 picks in the 5th round, 1 in the 6th, and 4 in the 7th. It's 37 total. With Shanahan and John Lynch, they do really well going into draft every year.
I agree.
So I mean,
but it's true.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get rid of some of these and trade, trade down or trade up, whatever they're going to do with it.
What do you make of all the rumors now, the slight rumors that Aaron Rodgers is not going to end up with the Jets? Well, and there are rumblings that the 49ers are interested.
I don't know, man, because it's just with Brock Purdy getting his surgery, which was successful, right? And all the jokes and the memes saying that he's coming back like Terminator or whatever. His arm's going to be a lot better. Trey Lance, we would have to get a lot for him,
well, you gave up a lot to get him.
Right. And for Aaron Rodgers, I'm not convinced because, one, he hates the 49ers because what they did to him back in the draft, whatever year it was. And he's always had a chip on his shoulder because we didn't pick him.
Right.
In that round. I just don't think
you weren't the only ones that didn't pick him, though. I mean, where did he end up, like 23rd or 25th in the draft?
Yeah, he got passed on a few times. I'm not saying I don't know how much does he really have in his tank. I don't know. I'm sure he'll work well in the West Coast offense.
Would he work well in your offense,
though? He'll be protected, definitely.
He'll be protected, but you guys pissed me off because the whole rest of the league, Philly included, it covets the quarterback, right? We got to get the quarterback. Where's the right quarterback? Yep. Somebody got to draft a quarterback, sign a quarterback, fuck quarterback up your ass. And they plug and play everywhere else. Wide receiver, running back, especially running back with us, right? Tight end, everything else is plug and play. Except for you guys who lock down wide receivers and really just skill position guys that can split out wide or line up in the backfield, and you plug and play at quarterback.
Right.
It's annoying.
Pretty annoying.
It's fucking annoying. I'll be the first one. I'll tell you that right now.
That's a pretty good story what happened with Purdy, man. I'm proud of him and what the team did with what we worked with. I mean, come on, you're working 3rd string quarterback going into playoffs, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's the outcome. I mean, I'm glad we lost from, you guys took us out in that game with that questionable catch down.
Oh, he didn't catch that ball, dude.
No, not at all, right?
And he knew he didn't catch it.
Right. The way he caught it, and then he ran down to the line.
Got right up like, come on. Yeah, go. He knew he didn't catch it. But shame on Shanahan for not throwing the flag.
He's known to be one of the smartest, he's a genius, but then he has these brain farts, bro. And then it's just like, dude, throw the flag. And he doesn't challenge it. He is questionable going into the 4th quarter sometimes. He doesn't really push to score. But as far as the schemes are amazing, picking up what's his name? McCaffrey. Yeah, sorry. Brain fart there. Yeah, McCaffrey. That was a huge pickup. That helped us out a lot. And then obviously the injuries. That just ruined everything. All we go playing right into the playoffs. So I mean,
let's look at the injuries. Shanahan's scheme in that game was to defend probably the league's best edge rusher with a backup tight end. And that's why Brock Purdy got his arm practically ripped off. You're not blocking Hassan Reddick with a backup tight end.
No.
Ate your lunch. And the worst part was, even after it, he kept trying to run that same design. And Reddick just kept on.
Got him in trouble.
Reddick's motor never shuts off, dude. So and he's going to be a problem for a couple more. We've got him for, I think it's 2 more years.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to deal with that animal coming off the edge for a while still. It was almost like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, he line up, and I'm like, is that? And here comes Reddick. Just, it blew by him like you're standing still. Mm-hmm. I look over at my buddy Mike. I'm like, yo, dude, like Shanahan's going to have to switch up what he's doing, or it's going to, and no sooner do the words leave my mouth, and he practically tears Purdy's arm clean off.
Yep. And
then you bring in, who was it? Who's the career backup there who's been in the league for like 12 years and nobody knew who the hell he was? Johnson. Yeah. And Reddick knocks him out of the game.
Yeah. And here we are, we're begging with our fingers crossed. We're like, is Purdy going back in?
And they put Purdy back in, and he couldn't throw the ball.
He couldn't throw the ball.
Like, you'd have been better off just having McCaffrey line up at quarterback and just run a wildcat.
Yeah, it's funny. Kittle was caught on camera asking him if he could throw with his left arm.
I mean, what
can
were
you throw with your left? Are you ambidextrous?
Right. And part of it's an NFL rule problem, where they took away that emergency quarterback position, which I think is bullshit. But because that situation should have never happened. You guys,
what's funny? Juice, you check. He was actually a high school, college quarterback or backup quarterback. He could have done something, but that's kind of weird.
McCaffrey was the emergency.
Yeah,
which didn't surprise me. He's the smartest player on the field.
Right.
But yeah,
changes pads.
But again, and that's not the first time that Shanahan's been in a big game coaching offense and screwed it up. Don't forget, he was the the architect of the Falcons blowing the 28-3 Super Bowl.
Yeah,
he's the OC down there in Atlanta with that one.
Where we get close every year.
Playoffs.
Yeah, we get close every year, man. It's we're right there. We're knocking on the door, ready to get that Lombardi trophy. Like I always tell you, what do you say? Butt pretzel.
Lou Mancini says Rodgers is a butt pretzel, twisted and salty.
He is. I don't know what's his energy in the locker room. How he's got an attitude problem. I don't know. I'm not really. I'm not a fan of it. We can do better.
I'm not a fan of him either.
I mean, if Brady came back and says, I'm going to play again, I'll say, okay, take Brady. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. But I don't
even know how much I'd want Brady at this point, dude. He's looking real happy being retired.
Yeah.
Out there, water sports with Gronk and who was that other little midget wide receiver they had? Edelman or whatever.
Oh, Edelman. Yeah.
They're having a good old time.
Oh, yeah. But
so yeah, that was what else did I have to draft? Yeah, I mean my whole thing is don't reach, right? I get English over here, North Dakota State University quarterbacks, look out. And that English, it's a good call because I know we're kidding around, but you don't want to reach, right? At any pit, you don't want to reach. Look, you want to take a flyer on someone from some D2 school, do that in the 6th and 7th round. You don't mess around with that in the first round. You don't mess your first, second, we're like 1 through 4 or 5. You don't dick around with that stuff. Take guys, even if they're not like studs, like guys that are projects, get them from a prominent school or from a prominent conference. Take them from the SEC. Take them from the Big Ten. You want them where even if they weren't at one of the best schools, they play it against the best competition, so that the shit doesn't look like taboo to them. You go and get some guy from a MAC school, you can throw him out there against fucking, on a Sunday night in Philly against Dallas or something. He's gonna get his lunch eaten, dude. Like it's just, it doesn't work that way. So it just don't reach, right? Get guys from good schools or at least from good conferences. I like Skoronski. I told you I didn't like Jalen Carter. And why? So I mean that's where draft, and we'll do more. Next week is going to be all draft because it's the day before.
It's the day before, right.
So, but right now, if I had to guess, man, it's not Bijan fucking Robinson. Okay, everyone.
I promise.
Running back.
I'll do my homework before.
Stop. Look, somebody's going to get Robinson. They're going to get themselves a good running back. They are. Yeah. It's not going to be Philly because it doesn't work. Okay, it's not a need. And the pushback I get from all these morons is, "Whoa, the Eagles don't have any positions of need." My ass, we don't have positions of need. Get some depth. Find someone, because Lane Johnson is that clock is ticking. Right? He has been hurt a bunch. This will be his 11th year coming in. I mean, it's an offensive lineman, and he hasn't given up a sack in 2.5 seasons. Right. That's going to be really hard to replace.
Yeah.
So when you have the opportunity to grab a guy that looks like he could be that replacement, I suggest you take it. Right? Or trade back. Trade down into the middle of the first round. Get yourself a couple more picks in rounds 3 or 4, and build from there. But don't do something stupid. And I think taking Bijan Robinson would be incredibly stupid. Lou Mancini, if they stay at 10, who do you like? I like Skoronski, man. I think it's a safe pick. I think it's the backup I think it's the replacement for Lane Johnson. There are some reports that he may project as a guard in the NFL, which, we'll read a little bit more as the draft comes up. I don't get hung up on mock drafts. Everybody mock drafts themselves to death, and it's obnoxious.
It never turns out the way you want it to, yeah.
And it never turns out that way, right? No. Look, the top 4 picks are going to be quarterbacks, is what's going to happen, right? Bryce Young's going to go number 1 to Carolina. Stroud is going to go number 2. And then it's going to be Levis and who's the freak? The one that had the freak combine. Christ, why does his name escape me? But those are going to be your 4. And then after that, your defense is going to come in. I think Jalen Carter is going 5, and I believe it's Seattle. When Seattle comes up for their pick, I think they're taking Jalen Carter. I think he fits the Pete Carroll mindset of I want defense first. Richardson, thank you, Lou. Thank you. That's Levis and Richardson are the other 2 quarterbacks. That's going to be the top 4. And then you get and then you're going to get Carter at 5, and then probably back-to-back corners. I think you see Christian Gonzalez and Witherspoon out of Illinois. And then by the time it gets to us, maybe Will Anderson will be there. I don't know that we end up taking him.
Keenan saying that mock drafts are like
non-alcoholic beer. Exactly right. That's no bullshit. Mock draft, especially when it comes from Mel Kiper.
Yeah, right.
I'd like to shave Mel Kiper's head. Right? Because that's like his thing, is that freaking hair. I'd like to just shave it off.
Where are they doing it this year?
I'm not sure where the draft is this year.
Why am I thinking Vegas?
No,
everything's happening in Vegas.
The A's are moving to Vegas.
The A's are moving to, and now you got the Raiders there. I mean, what's next? The hockey team.
They've already got one. The Golden Knights. Yeah, they had that the expansion draft a few years back. It's in Kansas City, Keenan. Thank you, Keenan. It's in Kansas. Oh, so yeah, it's like they need more shit, right? Fuck Kansas City.
Right.
Scumbag with your ticky-tack holding call on freaking Bradbury. Pissed me off.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. That's how I feel about the draft right now. You just don't reach, and you don't do something stupid, right? Take what makes sense, or trade back. If you don't like who's sitting there, trade back.
Right.
Trade back, get more picks, and take somebody else. Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Keenan. Kansas City, the draft. Tommy Kane in the room. When the Eagles draft Michael Mayer, I full convert. Green Legion rules. Mike English, douche nozzles, absolutely.
Douche nozzles.
Douche nozzles, douche yachts, douche pickles, all over Kansas City. If our friend Greg Meisinger's wife is listening, she's probably gonna hate me for that. She's a big Chiefs fan. So Fito, now that I've ranted on for a good 15, 20 minutes, actually, I think I've ranted on for 45 minutes now.
46 minutes and counting.
Right. Why don't you divulge? We talked a little last night. And I know you can't go too much into detail with certain things. But why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit about, I know opening day is this weekend or next weekend?
April 30th, next weekend.
So next weekend. So a week from Sunday.
Yeah. It's actually the birthday of the softball league, Bridgeport Court Softball League, which is actually congratulations. It's 1 year for your Green Legion Radio Unhappy Gilmore show.
Yep, next Wednesday is the yep.
Right. We're just super excited to celebrate our 51st softball season here in Bridgeport co-ed softball. We are in fact the longest running co-ed softball league in the country. So trying to work on getting that permanently a little asterisk put on there with Wikipedia pages and stuff like that. Now we're changing some things, moving things around. We're super excited with getting things rolling out implementing new code of conduct initiative, kind of holding people accountable because what was happening last year was a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting. People have to remember these umpires are out there trying to do their job. They're human. People make mistakes, right? So oh yes.
You guys are the fucking best, man. I swear.
We're actually doing a candle vigil for Nate next week well.
Right.
Yeah, on opening day. We were going to roll out the season with a autism awareness tournament actually this Sunday. So shout out to Ryan. He's the coach of Los Clementes. He's the curator of that tournament.
Nice.
And then we were going to, we're a co-sponsor with them. So we're going to roll that out. But the weather's been awesome here in Connecticut the last couple of weeks.
Been nice here too.
Yeah, we actually hit 80 degrees last week. 70 degrees. So it's softball weather for sure.
Yeah. Especially in Connecticut. We break out the orange ball when it starts to snow.
Right. Bro, back in January, we hit 65 degrees a couple of days. It's crazy.
We had that here too.
Yeah, so everyone's itching, getting ready for softball. It's great. With the BCSL Friday night show.
Taylor in the room.
Well, there he goes.
Sorry, go ahead.
With the opening day, April 30th, we have 20 teams in the league this year. We are running 2 divisions. We have an A division, or known as tournament, and then we have a B division known as the rec league or rec division. We are still a rec league as altogether. But I wanted to let's see.
These guys are trying to take over under on how long we're going to do this tonight. Don't forget, Russ was with us the whole 4 hours last time.
No, shout out to Russ, man.
No shit.
That show was like what, 3 hours? It was like 3-4 hours.
4.
Yeah, dude, we're out here.
Russ hung with us the whole time.
Dude, we were ripped by the end of the show.
Oh, I drank 13 beers sitting here talking to you that night.
Well, that's why at the beginning of the show I said it feels like forever. Since I've been on the show, and we always have a great time. And I know I've grown the beard out over the winter. We're actually looking the same here. We're a little white.
Oh, I got way more gray than you do. Yeah. I'm either gonna have to dye it or shave it off.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything for me here anymore.
All right, so opening day at the vigil, where we're gonna actually be selling more of the I-95 Nate stickers. These are really cool hologram stickers that tribute to Nate, who passed away back in January. He had a really, really bad car crash. It was a truck crash, excuse me, and it was a freak accident. And shout out to you, Adam, again. Thank you for making that presentation or the beginning of your show that night. That meant a lot. I don't think I've been on the show since.
No, you've been busy.
Yeah, things have been a little crazy. So we've been trying to raise money for his sons. He has 3 boys. Everything that we raise from the sticker and a patch that you can put on your hoodie or your shirt or anything. And all the proceeds go to his kids. We're also his father was able to hand over a whole bunch of his jerseys. And Nate always, he was a big part of the league. He touched everyone's heart. He was just the life of the party. So his dad gave me about 8 of his jerseys, which we're going to raffle off throughout the season.
Nice.
Yeah, one of them actually, I have one right here. I'll pull it on the screen, and it's going to be raffled off at the Autism Awareness Tournament this Sunday, and which would be the 23rd, right? Let me see. Yeah, the 23rd.
Yeah, 23rd. Yep.
Okay. And all the proceeds, actually, this one is going to be it's going to go 50-50 because there is an autism awareness walk in New Haven next month. So we're going to do half go to that charity, and then the other half is going to go to his kids.
Nice.
And then we'll do that periodically throughout the summer. I've got this guy, Nate has like 10 pairs of cleats, brand new ones in the box. Bats, jerseys. What am I going to do with all that stuff? I feel maybe I could share this stuff with everyone else, everyone can have a piece of Nate and his equipment. And then the money can go back to his kids. His dad tells me that he picks them up every weekend. We spent some time with them a few times here. We took them to laser tag and whatnot. But haircuts, sneakers, things that the kids need.
Books.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, everything gets stuff, right?
Here, I'll grab it so you can see it real quick.
Yeah. Let's get everybody a look here. Yeah, guys, so everybody in the room, they called him I-95 Nate. I think you guys remember the night when I kind of opened the show with and there's a jersey right there.
I'm not sure how good it'll come out. Let's see.
No, it looks fine. We can, yeah.
Yeah, so that's his autism jersey. It's got pictures of him. This is our we do an event every summer with Breaking Bats, and it's called the Tutus for Cuckoos event. And so we wear tutus in the game, and this is Nate wearing his tutu. Here's a patch. Then obviously,
I tell you what, he looks better about the swing than you did in yours, dude. You're freaking, dude. I saw that picture, man. Your shoulders all dropped, your legs are too damn far apart. Like, he must have tried one on before he went and took that swing.
Well, why do you think I became the president? I'm done playing.
I'm done playing, right?
Yeah. So huge shout out to the BCSL managers and teams coming on this year. We have got a bunch of new teams coming on. So the tournament division, American League, we have Assassinating Other Crews, or also known as AOK. We have Bridgeport Ballers, Breaking Bats, obviously Whiskey Hill. That's the American League in the tournament division. Now in the National League, we have the Bulldogs, Los Caciques. This team was the Smoking Jays last year, and they changed their name. They're coming up from the rec division. They won the championship. So that's they're called the Pandemonium. Excuse me. Yeah, Pandemonium. And then obviously we have Terror Squad. Then in the rec league, some of these names are a lot of fun too. So like you got the Dingbats, Average Joes, Headhunters, Locked and Loaded, Modern Electric and Security, Venom. This one's pretty interesting. It's called TNT, but I was like, so what does that stand for? The new team. I'm like, okay, I see what you did there. Slugging with Slim, Park City Mercenaries, Los Clementes. That's Ryan's team, who's actually the curator of that autism awareness tournament on Sunday. Lit Squad and Dillagaff. So those are all the teams for the 2023 BCSL softball league. Schedule's out. We're gonna be doing live streaming again. So a huge shout out to Joey, who's Reyes Multimedia Group. He's got about, I believe, 8. If he's watching, I'm sure he'll correct me. 8 or 9 high definition cameras.
Nice.
They're all set up periodically through the field. He has 2 on the first baseline, 2 on the third baseline, 1 behind the dugout, and then he's got like a VIP camera as well. And we were able to capture the whole game in every angle. So that's a lot of fun things that we do for the league. We normally do it as a game of the week. You know, it's hard for us. Smoking Jays, that's our squad.
That's for our 420 crew here.
Yeah. Well, they changed their name to Pandemonium.
Christ is watching.
Yeah, right. So with the live streaming, obviously we're on YouTube. We have our Instagram page, and we're excited to announce that we're going to have our new website that you and I spoke about. We're going to get you involved with that too as well, so we can link your show to that. And then, other than that, we're pretty excited, man. It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, man.
We did. So back in the day, what they would do is the Connecticut states co-eds and men's and women's. It's always in August. So what we decided is we're just going to give everyone a bye week that week, and then just do an in-house tournament, 1-day tournament fundraiser, and we named that. Where is it?
Russ might be onto something here. Game of the week sounds like NFL YouTube package.
No, it's free. I promise. No one has to pay. Do not click on the link below. Do not do that. The BCSL, we named it Angels in the Outfield. I figured you'd like that part. And then it's a fundraiser tournament and a home run derby at the same time. That'll give all the teams an opportunity to participate in an in-league tournament who don't go to the States. Oh, need a beer?
That's number 3.
Sometimes I'm forgetting it's Friday. I'm like, I feel like I got work tomorrow, but I should talk them back.
That, dude. I don't know. My days of working weekends are over. Fuck that shit. Yeah. If I got paid by the hour, don't get me wrong, it'd be a little different. But
your
once I move to salary, I'm like,
yeah.
We'll give a key and an alarm code to a lead that gets paid by the hour. He can go in with a team and do some shit. I'm available by phone if you need me. Kiss my ass otherwise.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I've got a friend request from can you see this?
Oh, yeah, that's he's a whiskey hiller. That's Gotti.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I will.
He's actually a whiskey hiller, yep.
Confirmed then.
Yeah, shout out to Gotti. I sent him the link. He said he's going to come on, so hopefully he's a new member of the Green Legion Radio. And then getting you linked up with Joey and having you do some remote commentary for one of our games or all the games, how we can make it work,
Right, you just got to watch your mouth, right? Family environment.
Family environment, the festivities and the booze.
I don't have to be George Carlin,
No.
I don't need to do the Andrew Dice Clay routine to call a baseball game.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have fun. It doesn't matter as long as we're not, doing the weird stuff,
Yeah, no. We'll keep it straight. It's a Sunday, anyways, dude. I'll just be, if on the weeks when you do want me on there, I'll just be home, probably with my trifecta of TVs watching the Yankees and God knows what else.
Well, definitely, we got to get connected so we can test it because I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a lag.
There will probably be a lag.
Right.
You guys use Restream, right?
Restream.
Restream.
Yeah. What do you have?
This is StreamYard.
StreamYard.
I mean, they all function relatively the same.
Right.
So it's just a matter of, it really matters your Wi-Fi connection. As long as you're linked up that way, then you should be fine. And everybody's lags from time to time. It's going to happen. I've had it happen in the middle of a show where all of a sudden the screen just went blank. I'm like, well, shit. What do you do?
I mean,
and then it pops back in.
Right. I mean, it can be pretty much what we're doing now, just having fun. It doesn't have to be a play-by-play. You
got to get me in there to do play-by-play when Kenny's pitching.
Oh, definitely we could do that.
That has to happen.
He's on Terror Squad this year.
Whiskey Hill wasn't interested in his services?
Yes. I gave him a nod. I said, hey. And he goes, oh, Gabby already picked me up. I said, okay, no problem.
Yeah, no worries.
I wonder if he even still has his Whiskey Hill jersey. Oh, we didn't have these. We have the old ones.
The old ones. I cut the sleeves off the old ones. I used it to cut my grass and shit.
I do the same thing.
That thing got old, man. It was beat up.
The numbers and everything's all peeling off.
Oh yeah, it was just a gray T-shirt that just had it was like a diamond up here, said Tony's.
Yeah.
And on the back, Whiskey Hill with your number. That was it.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm working on new jerseys for us, Whiskey Hill throwback, or it'll be more of an away jersey as well. But that one is going to be tribute to Nate. It's hopefully, if I can get the right design, we'll have the patch on there, right off the rip. So
yeah, if you mix them into where the jug is, or
right,
especially on the inside of the hood of the hoodie. Where there's all the different designs and stuff.
Yep,
you could probably mix his image into that.
Right in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, this is Whiskey Hill's 23rd season, man. We're the longest running team in the league right now, or consecutively, right?
Right.
And it's so much fun. This is the greatest league.
So for you folks here in the room, I think you've heard Fito and I talk about. I played with him on Whiskey Hill some 20 some odd years ago now.
Long time ago.
And back then the league was, so Fito's trying to take it to kind of the next level. What you had back then was you had a group of people that ran the league, had run it forever, and were just kind of, they were kind of fine with the way things were, right? Like it wasn't like they didn't want it to. They didn't feel the need to change anything. They were kind of just set in their ways, right? Nothing wrong with that, but Fito now will be younger, fresher ideas, try to move towards modern, where we're streaming things and trying to advertise on social media and stuff everywhere. It's another reason why I like to have him on here. It gives him another platform to pitch the league. But when I played, it not only was it old school. It was also like the Wild fucking West, dude. Like, if people would be hammered and you didn't know if a fight was good, like a legit fight, not an argument or a pissing contest. I mean, the bats are getting broken out and shit. Like, you just didn't know. Hard slide in the second. Somebody was hung over that day. We were going at it, dude.
We used to bring beers out in the outfield. Remember?
Yeah. It was a different league back then. But I mean, it's nice to see what you're doing with it now.
It's more family now. It's
more family, and it needed a fresh face.
Yeah.
It needed some overhaul. It needed to move to modern times. Right.
Yeah. Huge shout out to Deb Fruge. She's a Connecticut softball Hall of Famer. She's been the matriarch of this league for 43 years. And she's just like, I'm done, and she gave me some things and directions that she wanted this league to look like. Obviously, I threw in my 2 cents, brought in the future, like you said, social media platforms, third base keg stop. Yeah, I wish I could do that. Coming out of the ground, ready to go,
I mean, dude, yeah. I mean, there were some
we
days.
can make it happen.
There were some Sundays that were pretty rough, man.
It was pretty rough. Yeah.
Like, you almost had to drink a few beers just to shake off the night before you could even get out there and play.
Oh yeah.
We were young, dude. I was fucking 21 years old. I'm like, whatever. Didn't hear this shit. Give me a beer.
Yeah. This league has grown. I mean, we went from 10 teams to 12, 16. Last year we were 22. This year I compressed it a little bit. We're 20 teams now. It allows a little bit of flexibility in the schedule. And everyone knows each other. It's a family environment. Everyone bring their kids down there. We barbecue. We enjoy the music. We have DJs come down. Sometimes we just play off our music boxes. It's a great place. There are a lot of great leagues in the surrounding towns. You got Stratford.
Connecticut is the softball capital of the country.
It's the Mecca. Yeah, it really is the Mecca of softball. Yep. We have a lot of other league municipalities that they run their own league, but everyone somehow just comes back to this league every time. This is where they want to play. So I want to make sure that I keep this league at, basically top tier. I want to make it the best and the golden standard for all surrounding towns, and I'm here to support the league. Support the sport. There are a lot of tournaments going on in Waterbury, Stratford, New Haven.
Milford's always got a ton.
Milford has tons of them. Yeah. All brand new divisions and everything. So, we're always trying to help each other out, pass the word. With our new Facebook group, it allows us to connect with everyone else and share that information. But you and I can sit here all day and talk about softball all day. And
Russ Taylor, for us, it was third base Yingling, drink for a triple. Guy hit a home run, stopped, and took the triple instead for the beer.
You know what they do up at the Plex in Brantford? They actually have like a turkey trot in November. You got to run around with a turkey in your hand. They also do a Halloween tournament in Milford, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. You got to run around the bases with a pumpkin in your hand. So that's a lot of fun. Everyone comes up with some great tournaments, and if people get involved, it's amazing how much softball people play. You got people who play 7 days a week.
Look at Kenny.
It's crazy.
Just take a look at Kenny. So Kenny is 10 years older than us.
Right.
So he's 54. 54 this year, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And he's still playing, it's at least 3 times a week. At least. And without fail, he's not the guy he was 30 years ago, obviously, but it's still pretty, like you're saying, how much people actually play, how much people actually enjoy it. And it's not like he's out there playing in over 50 leagues. He's playing.
I don't think so. I think he's playing with
that man has way too much pride to play in.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I'm playing with the young boys. Yeah.
Russ Taylor, Kenny Powers. No, you're not far off. But
yeah. He's talking about
our friend Kenny Lawton.
Kenny Lawton. Yeah. He's an OG. He's an OG for sure. We'll get him on the stream. We'll talk a lot of shit with him and have fun.
Oh, I've got to call the game when he's pitching. Dude, because he'll be all fucked up if I do that. He will. He'll hear me on the other end, and he'll be so fucking.
And you know what I'll do? We'll do a Q&A with him or something.
Oh god, Q&A with Kenny.
Yeah, Q&A with Kenny. Yeah. We'll have some fun with him. And then actually, let me see. I wanted. Which I'm going to do This is something I'm going to do with the opening
Russ
day.
Taylor, does he have a mullet? No, he used to years ago, but no, he's shaved.
Oh, he is bald.
Yeah,
he lost a lot of hair. Let me see. We do. I do have a list of names. Let me see. You remember Murphy's Law? Remember that team?
Oh, yeah.
So Juan Casiano, he passed away.
I knew Juan for a very long time.
Yeah. So shout out to Juan. Remember Bubbles, Renee Williams?
Yes.
She played on Ace. She passed away in 2021. Pat Damali, Headhunters 2021. Robert Tonto from Masonry Service. He's a really good dude. He died in 2021. So we lost a lot of people throughout the years. Obviously, COVID wasn't a good year for anyone. A shout out to Mama Love. I don't remember her mom's name, but Mama Love, her name is Michelle. She passed away last year as well. And shout out to Kelly Hubbard. He was a really good umpire. He died. He had like a brain aneurysm or something happened. He got struck in the head and he passed away last year. But yeah, and then obviously what happened with Nate in the beginning of January. So we want to dedicate this season and tribute this season to all our fallen angels. And some of these people don't even play in this league. They just show up.
Yeah.
And they come down and support, have a good time. They hang out. They feed people.
And I think that's when the league changed, right? And I think Whiskey Hill was a big, huge part of that. Because it used to be we'd be at the field, we'd play, and then we'd have a beer or two, and then we'd go to Tony's, right?
Yeah.
You would leave the field.
Yeah.
You'd go to Tony's, then we'd end up back at stop in Milford or whatever.
Yeah.
When it turned to after the game, you didn't want to leave the field.
Mm-hmm.
That changed everything, right?
Yep.
That's when everybody started to, you start to do this. And I think it was you guys that really kind of glued that together.
Yeah. Until the cops kick us out. That's really
right. Yeah. Well, I mean,
all right, guys, gotta go.
Right,
but
right.
and that's what I try and instill in Whiskey Hill and the players and members is just we have to be the gold standard here at this league, and I hold them to high standards. You guys have to
clean
show
up
respect.
after yourself.
Yeah, clean up, show respect, have fun. Most of us, our only day off is on Sunday, right? So it's a matter of enjoying each other, enjoying the time off. And I tell you, I don't care what anyone says, Connecticut has the best summers. The weather is amazing. It's not too hot. It's not too cold.
It's true.
It's perfect.
The summers are nice.
Right. So you can really enjoy softball, and BCSL being grandfathered in at the city of Bridgeport. We basically own those fields on Sunday. There's no other league that's kicking us out of there or pushing us out.
You're an institution, dude.
Right, exactly. So there's no rush. We're there from Desi and I get down there. First off, we plan Monday and Tuesday. Okay, what are we gonna do for Sunday? And this ain't Chicago.
The police always messing with a good time. This ain't Chicago.
Yeah. And then by Sunday, we're there at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we're there till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And
that's a long day, dude. Yeah,
it's a long day. It's a lot of it's great commitment.
It's a good day.
Yeah, for sure. But it's all about the community. It's about the softball community. It's about everyone who's in that league. It's just making softball great again.
Sure.
And that's really what the focus is. You get your haters, you get your naysayers, and that's fine. I'm not here I already have my friends and my family. I know who likes me and who doesn't. It doesn't matter to me anymore. It's about the league, the longevity, Oh, what are you reading?
Russ Taylor, what is your best day? April 25th. Not too hot, not too cold, just right. Miss Congeniality.
Yeah.
And then we get Keenan. Should play in Philly. Cops don't show up at all.
Yeah. Is it because they're scared? That's probably.
Well, it depends on what part of town you're playing in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Bridgeport police, they let us know. Hey, park's closed. You got to go.
Yeah, time to go.
Yeah, time to
go.
Yeah. But for the most part, it's a great league and we're happy to be there,
Yeah, man. Like I said, you guys, that league is an institution. Nobody's taking that spot.
No.
That's not even a thought.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, there might be other leagues that spawn from that league, but they're going to have to go find somewhere else to play.
Yeah.
But, they're not going to take over that spot. It'll never happen. It's been there for too long. 51 years.
This is our 51. Yep, 51.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere, dude.
No.
No.
Even the city, they hold us accountable to make sure that we run the league smoothly. They make sure that we run it. Safety is number one, right? They want to make sure they want to make sure everyone's safe, having a good time. And then after that, it's just pretty much foot to the floor, have a good time, run the season out. It's a pretty long season too. We start in April and we go all the way to September, and then we have fall ball September all the way through November. Right. So it's long.
That's when I was telling you about orange softballs. You think I'm kidding? If it snows and it doesn't snow enough, it's got to snow to stop you from really snow.
Right.
To stop you from playing ball. At least back home, anyways. Russ Taylor, Gilmore, we ain't letting you roll to any bad parts of Philly. Don't worry, bud. I know where Kensington is. I ain't heading that direction. That's for damn
sure.
Well,
good thing you got people down there.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't have anything to worry about. Nothing to worry about. I mean, I'm thankful and grateful for it as well. Super Sam's going to put us up in South Jersey there.
Oh, nice.
And then, we're 12 minutes from the stadium. We're 15 minutes from Center City. Yeah, it's just easy in, easy out. I won't have to drive. We'll drive to the ballpark, but I mean, getting in and out of the city is no problem. And I got all these guys want to go get cheesesteaks and all kinds of stuff. So it's should be a good time.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. And then that Sunday, my brothers. So my younger brother is actually in a wedding him and his wife are in a wedding on that Saturday that I'm doing the double dip Philly and Baltimore baseball. My older brother is going to get all the kids together and drive down, and they're all going to stay in South Jersey. And then Sunday, we're all going to meet up somewhere, go have breakfast, and kind of spend the day together. I only get to see them every so often, so it'll be nice. And they haven't seen the kids in forever.
Yeah,
been able to bring them back in a long time, so it'll be a good time. That's gonna be the plan. Then a week and a half after we come back from that, we head to Toronto.
That's gonna be a good trip.
Yeah, me and my boys, we're heading up to Toronto. Their passport cards should be in sometime around the beginning of July. I think we're going to try to. What's that? 7 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So from here, I go straight up 75 to Detroit, and I cross into Canada there.
That sounds about right. Yeah, because Montreal from here is about 5 hours.
Montreal. Yeah. Toronto's further. I'm going, yeah.
Yeah.
So for me to get to Montreal would be much further.
Right,
another 3 hours or so past Toronto for me.
Oh, good for you, man. That sounds like a good trip, man.
Yep. So we'll drive up there, sleep, get up. We're going to go to the CN Tower, the Hockey Hall of Fame, and the Blue Jays game, and then sleep, get up, and boogie on back.
Oh, God.
Yep.
A lot of coffee and Red Bull.
I'll be fine. I'll be all charged up for the sightseeing and hanging out. We get to do our baseball thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you get tied that into baseball, dude. Have you seen what these assholes are doing?
No. What are you talking about?
So you heard about the new rules that are in Major League Baseball this year, right? With the
pitch count or
the pitch clock.
The pitch clock, and then the batter has one too.
Well, it's the same clock, and it's just they have to be engaged at certain points in it, or it's a ball or a strike, whoever's in violation. So it has sped the game up.
By what? 20 minutes?
By about a half an hour on average.
Okay, that sounds about right.
You've had a couple of games that have gone an hour and 57 minutes.
Oh,
right. Yeah, it's made a big difference. Now, look, I will tell you, you guys know I'm gonna get off my lawn with baseball.
Wait. Is this another rant?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
We're getting there, though.
Don't
jump the gun.
I'm just getting prepared. I want to get comfortable.
But they, so I don't like that it has to be policed like this with a clock, but it has done a lot of good. You're not getting less baseball. You're just getting it in less amount of time, which is really what it should take.
Right,
is less time. It stopped all the pitchers from stepping off the mound every other fucking pitch. The batters from doing their square dance in between every pitch, all the routines and stuff. It cut all that out. Let's get in the damn box and let's go. They made the bases a little bit bigger, actually significantly bigger.
Who was that hitter back in the day? He would come out the box and
Nomar Garciaparra.
Nomar, yeah. He would fix his gloves, hit this, grab it, and he'd do all this dances. It was weird.
Yep. They they made the base. So along with the pitch clock and everything, there's also a rule where the pitchers can only disengage twice per at bat. So that is step off the mound, throw over to first, whatever. If they throw over to first a third time,
ball.
If they don't get the runner, he automatically gets second base.
He advances. Right.
Not sure how much I like that one, but what I can tell you is it's resulted in more stolen bases.
Well, let me run by something with you real quick. I want to introduce a rule. It's something that is still in the works. It's not going to happen right away, but in BCSL, I was talking to an umpire, and this is a rule that they have out in Midwest. If you swing and miss, you automatically out. It could be a 0-0 count. He's not an MLB.
Ouch, brother.
I'm talking about softball. If you swing and miss, automatically.
And I get it. You should never swing and miss slow pitch softball. You really shouldn't. But let's be honest. We've all done it.
I love that rule, though.
Everybody's done it.
It's a kick in the balls. It's a kick in the balls. That's what that is.
Oh, yeah, dude. So then, what I would tell you is what you should do if you implement that, you should get every team in their team colors, like a little skirt.
Yes.
And if the guy does that, he's got to wear it.
He has to wear it. Yeah.
For at least another
like a dunce hat.
Like a dunce. Oh yeah, they put the dunce hat on the girl. Make something for the girls too, but
yeah.
For the guys, make them put a skirt on or something for like an inning or whatever. Yeah. If you implement that rule, then you got to make a mockery out of it. Dude. You got to
for sure, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
That's it. Russ Taylor. Could you imagine this pitcher disengage rule and Ricky Henderson was playing? Oh, forget it.
Oh my God.
Ricky's still 200 bases a year, dude. But it's resulted in more steals. The games aren't taking as long. So as much as I don't like that all this shit has to be policed, it's had a positive effect. Now, we move to this year where they just implemented these rules this season. Okay. Now we find out that in the Atlantic League, you remember the Atlantic League used to be the independent league. Now it's an actual minor league system. They are testing another set of rules in the Atlantic League.
Here we go.
I'll start with the one that I have the least amount of issue with, right? They're calling it the double hook designated hitter. Okay. This allows a club to use the DH throughout the game as long as their starting pitcher goes at least 5 innings. If the starter fails to make it through the 5th inning, the team loses the DH for the rest of the game. So that spot becomes a pinch hit spot.
Wait, the pitching team loses the DH?
If their pitcher doesn't make it through the 5th inning. Right. So obviously what this is trying to do is cut down on the number of pitching changes because that also makes the game take longer.
But that would only affect the teams that are using that spot, no?
Yeah, but everybody uses DH now.
Yeah.
So you have the DH, but if your pitcher gets shelled and gets knocked out in the 3rd inning, now you have no DH anymore.
Okay,
in that spot.
Gotcha.
You got to pinch hit in that spot every time it comes back up.
Oh, that's weird.
It's weird. I'm not sure how much, but so keep in mind, that's the one that I have the least issue with. Right?
Oh, God.
So this gets fucking better.
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
So we also talked about where the pitcher can only disengage twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which obviously adds an advantage to a team. Like, let's just take the Phillies. If Trey Turner's standing on first base, he's a threat to run anytime he's on. And now you can only throw over there twice. If you throw a 3rd time and you don't get him, he automatically gets the bag. So makes it very, very difficult. Of course, on the flip side of that, you could say, well, don't walk him or don't give up the hit.
Right.
In the Atlantic League, they're testing out 1 disengagement per at bat. 1 time, 1 throw over, 1 step off the mound. That's it. Anything more than that, runner advances or it's a ball or whatever. Once. I think that's a little too much.
That's a little excessive.
I think that's going too far.
I mean, it's taken away from the game, man.
It's taken away from the game.
Yeah.
Now, here's the one.
This is the worst one, huh?
You're going to want to rant too.
Yeah, this is the worst one.
The designated pinch runner.
What the fuck?
At the start of each game, both teams will list a player who is not in the starting lineup as a designated pinch runner. The player who is substituted for, as well as the pinch runner, may then return to the game without penalty.
So like a re-entry for someone that's
let's just say, for the sake of argument, Cap wanted an at-bat with Whiskey Hill one more time before he hangs his cleats up for good.
Right.
And you assigned him a pinch runner. He gets a hit. The pinch runner goes in. The next time Cap's spot comes up, he can go ahead and hit again. He doesn't come out of the game. You want to talk about Bush League, Little League, fucking just shitball, beer league, softball stuff? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? This is Major League Baseball.
These are people getting paid millions of dollars.
So they're testing it in a minor league system, but they're testing it because they're considering it at the major league level.
That's fucking ridiculous.
In what realm does a professional fucking athlete need someone to run for him?
They get paid millions of dollars, bro.
This ain't Babe Ruth at the end of his fucking career where he couldn't run and they gave him the runner just because it was Babe Ruth. There's no Babe Ruth. Designated pinch runner who can then go back and sit down, and the guy he pinch ran for can get right back up to the plate again on the next turn without a penalty. That's fine, right? Like what? It's not even like last out, last inning. It's just a designated dude. So you're gonna call some 19-year-old kid up from AAA who runs a 40 in 4.2 seconds. And you're just going to designate him as your pinch runner every night.
Is there a committee for this? Or what are they doing?
I don't know where the shit any of this nonsense is coming from, but that is disgusting.
I mean, owners have to be involved or managers, something. I mean, how are they going to even allow this?
That's not baseball, dude.
It's not baseball.
It's not just because Giancarlo Stanton can't run without pulling his hamstring doesn't mean he should automatically have a pinch runner. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's Bush League, and you just put the rules in Major League Baseball this year. Can you let it breathe a little bit? Look, the double hook designated hitter is not that bad of an idea. Let's get the pitchers going a little further in the game.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence, but I could probably see that. This other stuff is ridiculous. Designated pinch runner? Kiss my fuck. I can't. Right. Just fucking smack you in the face with a shit-filled sock. Fucking Rob Manfred and whoever, Tony Clark of the MLB. Oh.
That's retarded. I mean, if you're a baseball lover, you don't look at the sport as, oh my God, hurry up, I'm getting fucking bored. No one ever. If you're a true baseball fan, you don't look at the game like that.
It's true, but see, even for me, I wasn't getting bored, I was getting annoyed.
Yeah,
I can understand because it was taking a long time for no reason.
Right.
It's not like it was because there was action. It was just because these hitters wanted to get out and do a Texas two-step in between every pitch. Hey, I gotta dance a fucking jig after I take a fucking ball. Like, dude.
But what's to say, they're going to keep changing all these damn rules, and then they're going to keep changing the game. Oh, next year we've got something else. Check this out. And do we as fans and what happens? It's the same thing happens with football and hockey and basketball. Do we have a say? We're the ones who are paying, these jerseys, and we're paying cable to watch the games. We're paying all this, and we have no say. So that's what I'm saying. Is there a committee, or are there anyone that
they are listening to people who are not baseball fans?
That's ridiculous. I mean,
they're polling people of what they could do to make the game better, and they're sitting people down and having them watch a baseball game, and these people are not baseball fans.
My son, when he was my son Mateo, he was 8 months old. He could watch a full Yankee game. Every inning, he'd get up, run over, grab a toy, and sit down. As soon as the commercial break, he'd get up, run over, grab another toy, and sit down. He would sit there and watch the full game. Right. I mean, maybe he's an outlier or whatever.
He's definitely an outlier.
Right, yeah.
There's no question about that.
Right. But we love the sport. You just, like the first show we had, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, we love the sport. We grow up living every day. It's baseball.
For a lot of those folks, it's their way out.
Right. So
even if it's only to be a career minor leaguer, you're out of there, right? You're somewhere else.
So right now there's actually a story. I'm going to send you the link. There's 2 Connecticut students, transfer students from Dominican Republic. And they're the CIAC are not allowing them to play. CI, right?
CIAC, yeah.
CIAC.
Yep.
So they're not allowing them to play because of whatever their green card and their visas are not up to par.
These motherfuckers, man.
Do you remember the movie Benchwarmers?
That was not a Texas two-step. It was a promenade, square dancing. The Texas two-step is an NBA team going through Texas and playing and beating all the teams in Texas on one road trip in a row. And then Keenan says it's Pedro Serrano's fault. Sacrifices a chicken before every pitch.
Yeah, Pedro Serrano. Fuck you, Jobu.
Right.
I do myself.
Right. You'll help me now, Jobu.
Yeah. But these two kids, I mean, I think they're saying they're 12. I mean, man, if you see the movie Benchwarmers where they brought in that Dominican guy, he was like, he had a piece of paper with a picture on him that says, I am 12. You know, hilarious. But even the 12-year-olds play at a 14, 15-year-old level. I'm not saying that these kids should not play. What I'm saying is maybe the skill level is different. This height, weight. You know, I wouldn't want my
What
son.
are the other options? That's what it comes down to. So
right.
Look at just in the Dominican, right? So soccer.
Right.
And baseball. And that's fucking it. You come to America, look at all the options these kids have. There's baseball, there's football, there's basketball, there's hockey, there's soccer, there's golf, tennis, lacrosse, polo, skiing, snowboarding, figure skating if you drink too much Bud Light. I probably shouldn't have said that, but whatever. Yeah. But I mean that's the difference. These kids come over from the Dominican, they've been playing baseball since they were a fucking fetus. Yeah. Because baseball is life there. It's not that way here.
It's not.
So the skill level is drastically different. Your average little league age kid from the Dominican is more than likely going to be light years ahead baseball talent wise, baseball IQ, which really that's what it more comes down to at that age. Is your baseball IQ.
IQ, yeah.
Your instincts, your understanding of the game,
right,
is way different, and they are so much more advanced than these American kids. It's not even close. I don't think the kids should be at fault for that, though.
I agree with you. I agree with you. When we were growing up, you know, it was different back then, right? It was really cutthroat in Little League and Pop Warner football, whatever the case may be, right? The challenge was real, right? And we allowed the challenge. We wanted the challenge, right?
That's what makes you want to be better.
Right.
But when we were kids, baseball was still king.
True. It was the best sport. It's still, to me, is still
to us. It still is. Baseball's got us, man. Like they're not losing us.
My thing is, and I'm not trying to sound like a overprotective father, but if my son is 80, let's say 60 pounds, whatever, 3 foot, 4 foot, whatever, and he's going to play against a guy that's double his size, it becomes a safety factor, right? He's playing third base, taking a line drive ball, depending on what kind of ball, the speed, the ball, the speed off the bat. It could be a safety issue, and that's my only. It's just safety. I would coach my own son to take that challenge, be a better ball player. Don't be afraid of it. Go right at it, right? But at the same time, it becomes a safety factor, and that's the only.
Russ brings up a good point here. So he says, first, we played sports by seasons, which is very true.
Right.
But then he also says now kids play certain sports year round. They specialize.
True.
That's very, very true. It used to be your best athletes. They played football, they played baseball, they played basketball.
Yeah.
Those were pretty much, you had some guys that would play hockey, but for the most part, most of your better athletes went and played basketball. And now to Russ's point here, if somebody's really good at basketball, they just play basketball all year. They may still play the other sports when they're little, but once they get to 12, 11, 12, 13, they're doing exactly what he's saying. They're playing, their normal league or select league during the regular season, but then they're playing, summer camp basketball, it's summer league basketball. It's just basketball. They hone in on one sport. When you and I and Russ and the rest of these folks were kids, it wasn't that way.
No, if your parents had the money to pay for you to play,
yep.
If you had the time, or even if the fields were next to your house or on the other side of the city, you had to pick and choose.
Yep.
And then you had to try out. Remember that?
Yeah.
You had to actually try out.
You had to go earn it.
Yeah. Right. And that's what I mean. The challenge is okay. I would tell my son, I would push him to go play. This is what you need, right? But at the same time, you want to be, you want to make sure that they're safe. I mean, look at Pop Warner football. It's become so popular, even down south. They live, breathe, eat football, right?
Dude, south and in Texas, dude. If you drive through, so you've been to Texas now, right? So
yeah.
You see these places that these high school kids play football. They're fucking stadiums, dude.
It's all football.
They're bigger than a lot of college fields.
Seriously,
high school football.
High school football.
No right. Texas is serious, dude.
Right.
So Russ has another one here. Says his niece swims all year round. She's really good, but as a freshman, she qualified for states and placed in 4 events. Dude, congratulations, man. That is awesome.
Oh. Yeah, that's cool.
Fantastic. I have a niece that also swims. I don't know how good she really is. I don't know. They were just in Florida doing a thing, so I'm assuming she's doing really well. I don't have the stats. Russ Taylor again says Texas football is life, and it is. I spent most of my summer of 2015 working down there, and even you're talking about like that site launched in April, so this is the end of the school year. They're already talking. They are talking next year. Like you go into the little because you get sick. I don't want to go eat at chain places, especially when I'm out of town. I want to go sample the local food, right?
Yeah.
Find me some mom and pop joint that slings the best burrito and fucking
the hole in the wall.
Those are the best. Find me the greasy spoons, dude. Give me the barbecue.
Yeah.
When you walk into those places, and you're likely to walk into like the town's football coach, and all the cronies around, and you can hear them. It's April, May, and they're talking about which kid is going to start, who should be playing where. Who the fucking state competition? I mean, dude, it is a religion down there.
And we should encourage our children to be involved in team sports.
Absolutely.
I think it's healthy.
Even if you stink, doesn't matter.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure, man. It's important, and I think that builds the community. It builds respect and hard work. Oh, what are you laughing about? Here we go. I could just look at your face and I could see.
I'm sure, Russ.
Blue.
Russ, if I were going to rob some banks, I'd do it Friday nights in Texas when the local high schools play.
Bro, I was in Texas last month.
Yeah,
everyone has a gun. Everyone has a gun.
Oh, yeah, just walk around with it down there, dude.
Oh,
it's like that here now. Ohio, it's open carry.
Yeah, well, so my wife is from Texas, right? She will never go back, right? She loves Connecticut. She loves the Northeast, and so do I. I love living up here. But if I had a choice when the day I retire, it's gonna be Austin, Texas. I'm moving.
Do you have any fucking idea how hot it gets in Texas in the summertime?
I'm Dominican. Hello.
I don't give it. Yeah, but you haven't lived in Dominican for 40 years.
It's in my blood.
Your blood's too thick now. You've been living in the Northeast. Dude,
I can adapt.
It is so hot.
I love
Texas in the summertime. There is no reason for it to be that hot.
Yeah.
We'd get the floor going. I'd be in meetings for 2.5 hours. And then we would go to lunch. And you come out. So you're in air-conditioned office. And now it's June.
It smacks you in the face.
You open the door and it literally takes your breath away.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's hot.
I love it.
Like you're having a conversation with somebody, you're going, so where do you want to go? You want to go to Whataburger? Fuck, it's hot. Yeah. Who just said that? Russ Taylor. It's a dry heat. I don't give a shit.
I love dry heat.
Dry heat my ass. It was hot. I flew into Dallas on a Sunday, got in my rental car, It was 10 minutes after 6 p.m. at the beginning of June. It was 108 degrees. No.
My level.
No.
And you know what's funny? I hate spicy food, but I can deal with the heat.
Dude, that's too hot.
It doesn't even touch my skin. I don't even feel it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Hotter. Let's go. I went to Mexico.
I need 2 homes.
Yeah.
I need 2. I need one in Scottsdale, Arizona, so that I can live there during the winter.
Yeah.
And then I need another one, here or Connecticut or something.
You should come back. Come back.
Yeah, I can't afford to come back.
That's too expensive here.
It's too well, and what I do for work is not a thing there.
Bro, I met a couple last week during player registration, and they both had California license. And I'm like, I just have one question. Why Connecticut? Like, why would you leave?
Right, why would you come all the way across the country?
Why would you come here? And it's funny because we can get political, but I'm not going to go that way.
Nah.
But they it was their reaction was hilarious. But they basically said it's so much nicer on this side of the island. Basically,
well, I mean, people are assholes, dude. California is look. I have no desire. The only reason why I want to go to California is to see the baseball stadiums. That's it. I have no other desire to go there for anything else. I don't care about
San Diego, right? You got San Diego.
No, it's San Diego. So San Diego Padres, Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles Dodgers, and San Francisco Giants. I'm never going to get to Oakland, unfortunately.
You can't.
They are going to end up. So the rumor now is that they are going to move to Vegas and play in a minor league stadium starting in 2025. My baseball trip for this year and next year is already set, and I understand that Oakland Alameda Coliseum is a dump. I understand that. I
wouldn't even go there.
But the history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ricky Henderson.
That
kind of shit. And I'm never going to get to see it. So it is what it is. I'll just end up having to go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas, so that'll be my first.
You go to Vegas. I need to go with you. We got to make this happen.
Well, that'll be the baseball trip.
Yeah,
go to Vegas. Okay. And I'm not a gambler, dude. Like when I go to Vegas, I'm there to see the sights.
Neither am I.
I'm not there to go. Yeah, I'm not that guy.
I'll do.
I may go throw some quarter slots in for a little while.
Yeah, quarter slots. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You're not gonna find me at a table. You know what I mean? with like Doc Holliday there trying to hustle me for everything I'm worth. Get the fuck out of here! I ain't doing that crap. That's not happening.
Yeah.
What do we got? Russ again. My oldest niece is stationed there in California, and she hates the people.
That's the attitude I got from this couple.
She hates the people, right?
They hate the people. They were like, we're done with that place. We're coming over here, Yeah, I can't see myself living anywhere else. The Northeast, I'd probably go head south somewhere, not too
Florida.
far south. Because Desiree,
Carolina,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Because she likes the 4 seasons. Me, I don't care. I can adapt. But
I could do without winter. Like, I'm done with winter.
I think I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
My kids are older now, so like the sled riding is still fun here and there, but in a couple more years, that's not even going to be a thing for them. And like, I'm done with winter. Like, I'm 44 fucking years old. Like, it's over for me.
Yeah.
Winter just makes my bones hurt now, and it's not fun.
Right.
Like, I'm done with it. I've had enough. But yeah, man. So this baseball shit, dude. It pissed me off. Right? Like, overall, dude, I don't want to one day turn on a game and not recognize what I'm seeing.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to change.
If that's ever going to happen, it needs to be because I've reached the senility age, right? And I'm like, what is it there?
What's going on?
Right, just some old man. I don't want to turn on a baseball game and not know what I'm looking at anymore. That's not what I grew up with. I just, the integrity of the game still needs to be there, at least in some way, shape, or form. That's
it's become a game of just hurry up and go, hurry up and buy, hurry up and buy.
Look, if you go back and you watch films from the 60s, 70s, 80s, kind of one of your golden eras of baseball. The game moves like that. These guys, when they got walked, they ran to first base. Pete Rose would run to first base.
Yeah, I remember
when he got walked. There wasn't this. If they stepped out of the box, it was 1 foot out of the box. Look down at the third base coach, get the sign, and you're right back in. Right? It wasn't this step out. Let me grab my balls twice, scratch my ass, adjust my batting gloves, take a big breath, adjust my helmet. It wasn't all that shit, dude. You took one step back. I remember even doing that in Little League. You take one step out, you look down at your coach, he would give you the whole, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, and you would, do across the numbers, or you took your cap to say you understood. It was either this or that. And then you right back in.
So
that's
I think
the way baseball used to be, Major League Baseball used to be played, and it moved along.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing now is what it used to look like. What we don't like about it is that it has to be policed to get that way.
It was so dramatic. That's why it happens.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
They have to put a clock there that says, move your ass,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And really, the players have nobody to blame but themselves because they're the ones that brought this on. But that's the only problem I have with it is the fact that it has to be this way in order to get the results that we really should have been getting all along.
So, I mean, it could come down to a coaching issue, right? So, like, my job as a president of the BCSL, right? If there's a rule and a player doesn't know the rule, is because I didn't tell the coach. I didn't train the coach or the manager. This is the rule. This is what I expect from your players. You need to reiterate that to your players, right? So maybe, I mean, like going back to what you just said, it's just, it became so in your face and a dramatic change. And I think it could have been done by just micromanaging the players.
I think they tried to tell them that, but without an actual rule in place, everything was too loose.
Right.
There was no punishment. There was no repercussion. These guys were just getting told, look, and I think what they were getting told was, look, if you don't stop this, we're going to have to make drastic changes.
And that's probably what happened after, yeah.
And that's what's taking place. Now, Keenan, you don't want to see a ghost pinch runner in the top of the 10th? Absolutely not. Okay?
Is that the guy on second base?
Absolutely not. That's the ghost runner on second to start extra innings.
Yeah, no. That right there, Bush. When I heard about that, I was like, what is happening?
Bush.
That's crazy.
The Bush, that is Bush League nonsense. Not to mention the fact that your average extra inning game only went 12, right? So it's not like these games were going 17, 18, 19 innings. You'd have your one-offs like that. But for the most part, they were going 10, 11, 12 innings tops. And with the other things you've already done to speed up the game, you're probably still looking at a 3-hour affair, even with the extra innings. Get rid of the ghost runner. And if it's such a good idea to have the ghost runner, why the fuck don't they still have it in the playoffs then? Because it's not being used in the playoffs.
It's not in the playoffs.
Only during the regular season. So if it's such a great idea, why aren't you using it in the playoffs? Right. Because they want to, it's bullshit.
It's more
the ghost runner's bullshit.
Right. There's
ghost runner's bullshit. This idea of a designated pinch runner's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, there's no way you'll ever get me to align with that.
I
know
agree.
They don't care about me because they've got me. They know they've got me. They know I'm going to watch regardless.
Right.
It's still bullshit.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. They're gonna, I don't know. It takes away from the connection of they have us, like you just said. They do have us, and there's things that connect us to the team, not just the game. You've got players. You've got the, Aaron Judge, the All Rise. Yep. Right. We people just, they hear that and they think Yankees right away. Right.
Immediately.
Right. So there's, I don't know. It's just some of that Bush League rules is going to take away a lot of that from, a lot of the integrity
away.
Right.
I told you my idea for All Rise, right?
It should be All Rise. I mean, All Rise. Right.
So for you guys that are still left with us in the room and it's shrunk down now, I think we just have Keenan and Russ in here, which is okay with me too.
That's fine.
Those they're both fantastic. But so when I was traveling for work like that back in 2015, I was in Atlanta and I ended up having to drive to Dallas.
I'm gonna grab a beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah, get your beer. So I drove from here to Atlanta and I brought an Xbox with me because I was going to be there for 2 weeks. And I'm in Atlanta and I'm there for 2 days, and we're kind of trying to fix some things and work on stuff. I get a call from my VP. He says, I need you to drop everything and go to Dallas. I said, Kevin, what are you talking about? The warehouse manager in Dallas just quit. If I don't have coverage there, the sky is falling, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, look, I'm going to have to drive. He says, what in the blue hell are you talking about? I said, I brought all this extra shit with me and I can't fly with it. So after he berates me for being an idiot, and Kevin, probably the best boss, probably the best boss I've ever had. He was amazing. And I learned so much from him in just the short period of time I worked for him. But he had a way of if you pissed him off, he would never yell at you. He had a way of like talking to you like you just disappointed your father. And you felt like you were about to, I'm sorry, So he gets done berating me. He's like, all right, look, I want you to check in with me every couple hours. That's an 11-hour drive. Jesus Christ. Don't worry about it. I get in the car and I start driving. So it's Route 20 from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way to Dallas. That's it. You just get on 20 and you just head west as the crow flies. So it goes through Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which is where the University of Alabama is. I said, well, I've got a couple of days here. They know I'm going to take my time. I'm going to stop and I'm going to check it out. So I get off. I'm driving around, checking out the statues, taking some pictures.
Only you would do that.
Yeah, you got it. I stopped at some Bonnie and Clyde sites too on the way out.
Oh, badass. That's
it was awesome.
Yeah.
But so I go to leave Tuscaloosa, I get back near the highway, say, I better stop and get cigarettes now because I don't want to stop again. So I pull off, I fill the gas tank, I go inside. I say, hey, bud, let me get a pack of Camel Lights. So he puts the pack down. He says that'll be $5.50 or whatever it was at the time. So I take out $6. I say, there you go. Now, mind you, I'm wearing my Derek Jeter t-shirt and a Yankees hat in Southern Alabama. He gives me the change. I take it. I take the cigarettes. I said, thanks. As I turn, he goes, Roll Tide. And it didn't register right away. So I took like 2 steps and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I turned back around. I said, did you? He said, Roll Tide. I said, did you mean you're welcome? He goes, Roll Tide. I'm like, y'all really do that shit down here, right? That's like a greeting.
So it's like not true. Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide. Yeah. Can I have that, please? Yes, thank you. Roll Tide.
Yeah.
So now I'm figuring, after I saw Joey B's post the other night, I'm like,
Joey B.
All rise needs to be a greeting. Right. Yeah. So say the same example, right? Say I'm working behind a register up in the Bronx or something, and some dude comes in. Let me get a pack of Marlboros. Yeah, that'll be $19.75. Hands me a 20. I give him the quarter. He says, thanks. All rise.
All rise.
I mean, I think that's just how we're going to roll here.
Is that how much a pack of cigarettes costs these days?
That's my guess in New York, in the city. That's my most educated guess.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. All rise. I like that. Rise. Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you 20 years ago, I went to the stadium, the old stadium, with my friend Scott, and we were drinking at the dugout before we were going into the game. And he says, let me get a cigarette. I said, no. He goes, you got like a full pack. I said, I ain't giving you shit. He said, well, I'm going to have to walk up to the friggin' store. And I said, come on, I'll walk with you. So we go up there. He orders a pack of Marlboro mediums or whatever. It was like $11.50. And that was 20 years ago. Yeah. And he looks at me. I'm like, now you know why I wasn't giving you any fucking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Buy your own shit. But yeah, all rise, right?
All rise. I like that.
Like, hey, can I have that? Yeah, thank you. All rise. I'm gonna
now that we know Judge he's not going anywhere. What were the rumors? Didn't they remove the Judge chamber or something like that?
That was what was gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
That's what I was on this show going bananas about.
Yeah.
Because you remember
I must have missed that show. Yeah.
You remember when he had that huge rookie season?
Yeah.
And they put the Judge's chambers in. I was screaming up and down, it's too early. Stop. It's too early. Stop. It's too early.
It's like right field.
Yeah. And then here we come. Now he's up for contract. And San Francisco was all in. They actually offered him more money than the Yankees did. And he chose to come back to New York. So really, Well, we covered it on this show, which and for a number of weeks we covered it too, because obviously it was a hot topic.
Right.
And my thing was, it was down to two choices for him. The money was going to be there regardless. He was going to make an astronomical amount of cash. So it's not about the money. It's what's the next most important thing, right? Because you're going to get paid regardless.
Right.
So what's more important to you? Going back to where you're from, because he is from like 60 miles west of San Francisco, or your legacy.
Legacy.
And ultimately, he chose legacy.
Yeah.
And he came back to fucking Keenan. Heroin is cheaper than cigarettes.
Keenan is on a roll, bro. He's killing me today, bro. I'm watching his comments. I'm like, Keenan's on a roll.
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
Oh, I swear this room, dude. I don't know where the show will go after a year or whatever, but as long as I'm doing this, you guys better be in this room. I'm telling you, I said at least. Man. Thanks, man.
I'm proud of you. 1 year, man. And you took the bull by the horns, and you were like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Because I was actually going to do this show tonight upstairs in the new studio, right? And I'm still working on it. Getting we're gonna work on it. There's some things I want to do. You know me, my OCD kind of fucks with me.
Oh yeah.
But, eventually, I could get more on the show with you. And then
I'll participate with whatever the hell you're doing.
Exactly right. We could help each other out, and especially how well you've been doing in the last year. It's like, man, when you told me the other night, dude, it's gonna be 1 year. I'm like, oh my God, that's right. Your first show was that Wednesday before opening day, the 50th anniversary of BCSL.
Yep.
We had the mayor out there, the senator.
I remember that, and that was
a big week. Yeah,
that was awesome. I watched that whole ceremony. That was so great. I was freaking. Look, I mean, I always love the league, and I love the team, and I love all of you. I was so happy and proud of you.
Oh yeah, man.
And your wife, and what you guys, sacrificed to push that and make that happen. I mean, that was just such a joy to watch.
Yeah.
That whole morning was just awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. No, thank you. Yeah. I mean, because it was a pleasure to sit and watch. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was like, oh yeah, let me check out what Fito's doing. It was like, no, I want to see this.
It was a production. It was
for me, that was must see TV, dude.
Like, it was a lot of work. Even just having the governor there, the senator and the mayor there. And then it was crazy because that same day, Bearsley Zoo was celebrating their 100th anniversary.
Yeah.
Now you have the zoo, which is in the same park. Like, that's unheard of. A lot of people don't realize that there's a zoo.
No, they don't realize it.
Okay, and then like 1,000, maybe 100 yards from where the lions sleep at night is a softball field.
Yep. Were you living there? Because I remember when I was here, I want to say like a couple of wolves got loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Running around fucking Bridgeport.
Yeah. I remember that. Oh, dude. It's funny. People don't realize it. Wait, there's a zoo in this park? Like there's a
full-on fucking zoo. There's a
legit zoo right over there.
Yeah.
So they were celebrating their 100th, anniversary. We were celebrating our 50th, and it was just a big show. We were having such a great time.
Great weather.
Great weather, DJ, everything. Here I am, my junior year in being on the board, and my love of baseball, allows me to do this.
Sure.
It's kind of sitting back and realizing, I want to give back more. and this is why we do charity events, and we collaborate with nonprofit associations and try to raise money, give back to the community. Because I think baseball it's an American pastime.
It is.
It's something
totally
that we have to continue going. And when I hear these stories of they're changing the game, it bothers me. It's like
it bothers me too.
Like, leave it alone. You understand that BCSL, Bridgeport Co-ed Softball League, is still the only league in the surrounding area that has a 0-0
count. Yep. When you said before that you were going to change a rule and you wanted my opinion, I thought it was going to come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I thought the 1-1 count was going to come out of your mouth.
I can't do it.
Nah, fuck that. Stay pure, brother.
And Deb was like, just whatever you do, don't ever change that. I said,
don't change that. Don't give in, dude. You know why? You don't have to.
You don't have to. Right.
You don't have to. So, you don't have to. You are the most established league in the country.
Oh, yeah, man.
Everyone else can take their 1-1, 0-1, 1-2 counts and stuff them up their ass. You need to move your game along. We don't give a shit.
Right.
We like to be at the ball field because it's a family. You guys want to hurry up, get out of there, and go have buffalo wings somewhere.
No.
And we'll just bring the wings home and go play somewhere else. Right.
Yeah.
We want to be here.
So there's morning leagues and there's afternoon leagues, and they go play somewhere else. I was like, dude, you played too much softball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing? This is different.
I will tell you though, I think Russ Taylor might have a nice rule change for you.
Oh, what's that? Let's see.
If you make an error, do you feed them to the Lions? Actually, I like the strikeout rule better for this option here. I think if they strike out, you dangle them over a lion cage. Yeah. Scared of shit in a dress, of course, but
Yeah, definitely. If anyone has time, whoever was watching, there is a zoo within the park.
Yep.
It's a very famous zoo. It's been here for a long time. They have lions, leopards. They have every animal, except for I think they're doing a black bear enclosure.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. They've got a whole bunch of other things, but yeah, there's a whole zoo 1,000 yards from the softball field, and it's funny because a lot of times you can hear the coyotes and the wolves. They're howling as we're playing the game.
It used to freak out the chicks when I'd bring a girl to the game, and you can hear if you get the field. Which field is it that's closest to it?
4 and 5.
Yeah, and you can hear them.
Yeah.
And she's what the hell is that? I'm like we got to get out of here pretty quick after the game. They come closer as it gets darker.
Right.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So the joke is as the cops kick us out, and some people stay behind because because you can walk into the park. You don't have to drive into it. You can actually walk in there too as well. And people say, well, if the cops kick you out or whatever, who's protecting you from the animals, right?
Nobody.
How do you get inside the park? I mean, it's all gated and whatnot, but the joke is you can enter the zoo anytime you want,
right? But you can never leave. You get eaten.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which I want to make it very clear that back in the Prohibition, before Route 8 was ever built, Bearsley Park was part of Whiskey Hill. And I know some people don't realize that if you're not from Connecticut, Whiskey Hill is the north end of Bridgeport, right? And back in Prohibition, 42% of alcohol, moonshine, beer came from that location down to the port of Bridgeport.
That's why we wear these jerseys with pride, guys.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, man. And I actually have. I went down to the city the city library and pulled out books and got all the information we needed, and we were able to get with a lot of research. We were able to get information of why they call it Whiskey Hill. And
Whiskey Hill Radio, the Whiskey Hill Live.
Whiskey Hill Live.
Was it before last season started? She had something typed up that she read that was absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't for the life of me remember what she said, but
maybe I'll the next show I'll bring it on.
Bring that on because that was amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's all like true history of the name, and whoever grew up on Whiskey Hill. Whiskey Hill is a location. Yep. Anyone that's watching, you can go ahead and go on your GPS and zoom in on over the city of Bridgeport. And if you go over to the North End location and actually zoom in onto that one spot where the Reservoir Ave area is, it'll actually say Whiskey Hill on GPS. And everyone knows whatever the internet says is true. So
if you pull up, so what you do, guys, you pull up Google Maps or whatever the hell you use,
Google Maps, yep.
And just type in Whiskey Hill, Bridgeport, Connecticut, and it will actually show you the area that is Whiskey Hill.
Right. So back then, 42% during the what is the 18th
amendment?
The 18th Amendment. 42% of the alcohol, beer, moonshine came from this location, and into the city where what do they call them? Speakeasies and bars.
Bathtub gin.
Right. Bathtub gin.
Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, well, that's really what it was.
Oh yeah, and
that's why people were getting sick all over the place.
Right. And Bearsley Park was part of that location.
Russ agrees with you. If it's on the internet, then it must be true.
Exactly. If it's on the internet, it's true.
So Fito, we have on our hats the 1%, and that was part of what her speech was that night. Do you remember that portion of it? And the definition of that?
So the definition. Well, when I was 20 years old, building this team together, and here's my son. Want to say hi?
Hi.
Hey,
Papo, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Here comes my daughter now. It's okay.
You're fine. We'll just watch our mouths now.
Oh, they're saying good night.
They're saying good night. Aww. I love you. Dude, we don't have to keep taking your time like that, man. It's
no, we're good. We're good.
Hey, darling.
Hi.
Hi.
Bobby, you good?
I'll say hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey, there she is.
So when I was 19, I was hanging out on Reservoir Ave in a VFW. Now I think they changed it into one of those with those weird hats that they wear, Elk Lounge.
Yeah, the Elks Club.
Elks, yeah, so it's the Elk Lounge now. Before it was the VFW, and I'll never forget where we're putting this team together, and we're trying to figure out a name. And at the time, for those who are watching, we were called Teddy's, right, which was a strip club on East Main Street, and they sponsored us, and so our shirt said Teddy's on it, but on the arm it said Whiskey Hill. Because we were obviously sponsored by them. They paid for the shirts or whatnot. But when we were trying to figure out a name, I remember I was drinking blackberry brandy.
Polish.
Yeah,
LaRue.
Yeah. I was drinking LaRue. And it must have been a Rolling Rock or something like that at the time.
Some cheap shit beer.
Yep. Yeah. We were like, all right, so what?
As I sit here with my Coors Light.
Right. Well, I got a Bud Light here too, so. And so we're like,
how very progressive of you.
Let's not go there.
Hey, I was kept the gloves on that time.
So we try to figure out our name. We're sitting there like, what the hell we're gonna name this fucking team? Like, well, what are we gonna do? And I'll never forget looking down the bar, because big wooden bar, right? And the guy's like, name it Whiskey Hill. And across his arm, he had nothing but skulls, right? Skulls, crossbones, and it said Whiskey Hill. I'm like, well, what the hell is Whiskey Hill? He goes, you're standing on it.
You're you live in it, right?
What? So it never caught on. Fito's woke.
Bam!
Don't judge me.
Green Legion Radio's Unhappy Gilmore, Unhappy Hour on a Friday night with, as I say every week, the greatest room. Whether there's 2 of you or 50 of you, you guys are always the best.
Oh, for sure. Wait, I do have core light. Of course.
Drink whatever the fuck you want, man. I don't give a shit.
I don't.
I'm
So,
just messing with you.
No, I know. No.
I'm
So
starting to run out of room to put my empties over here, though. I have a small cooler next to me that they bought me for my
answer
birthday.
your question. Behind the 1%er,
Yeah,
is because the guys who were in the bar that named the team were MC. They're a motorcycle club.
Okay.
And they were 1%ers. So they kind of blessed us with that name. And not to mention, we were the only team in the whole league that played softball every Sunday. We were the first team on the field, the last team to leave. We barbecued and we partied our ass off.
Yeah.
We always felt we were the 1% of that league.
Yeah, nobody got down like Whiskey Hill. That's for damn sure.
And until this day,
and it still stays that way.
It still stays the same. Yeah, we're the first ones there and the last one to leave. So we feel like we're the 1%ers. We've been questioned a few times about this 1%, but
yeah, your wife read something, in the middle of that what she was reading off last year. I just couldn't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to show you guys something here. I don't know if most of you guys follow me on Facebook anyways, but here, I want you to see. So this past Sunday was my birthday. Saturday we went to was really the first event away from the back porch that I put together. And it was to bring 15 of us down to the Reds game for the Phillies were in town. Now, I'm a Yankee.
Nest, what you call it?
Midwest Eagles Nest. That's right. Yep.
Midwest Eagles Nest. Yeah.
Yep. So me, Michelle, and 13 of us. I really probably should have bought 30 tickets because I could have filled them. But we played. It was a great day. The weather couldn't have been better. Of course, the Phillies didn't show up. They got the shit kicked out of them. But it was a great day either way. So next day, Sunday, it's my birthday, and my family bought me this. I'm going to get it right now.
Oh, God. Is it pink? Does it match your eyes? I'm guessing. Oh, it's black. Okay, we're good.
So she hands me this bag like it's an Amazon bag or something. I open it up and it's a sweatshirt and it's got the bird on it.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I'm like, yeah, I've got like 5 Eagle sweatshirts. What the fuck? So she's just turning it over. So I turn it over.
Oh, that's nice. I love it.
Yes, sir.
I love
Unhappy. Yep. So that was
Is that black or dark green?
black.
Okay.
Yeah, it's black. The outline on the numbers is the midnight green.
Yeah.
Of course, this year our alternate uniform is going to be the Kelly green. The NFL is now allowing 2 different helmets. So we're two different helmet designs and everything. So we're going to be allowed to wear the Kelly green from before we went to midnight green, which will be cool. I've got my Jerome Brown jersey ready for that day, which will be fucking awesome. So,
have you seen any of those like Facebook posts where there's these artist renditions for like futuristic helmets or whatever? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Designs and shit. Some of them are pretty good though.
Some of them are cool. Yeah. I get a little more, traditional. I love the midnight green. I do, but I still like the Kelly. I'm not a big fan of the Eagles since they started doing the alternate uniform stuff. There's been the black uniforms, right? We come out wearing all black. I mean, it's all right and all, but it's now we're finally going to get our choice, which I think most of the Philly fan base would tell you they'd rather see us in. If we're going to have an alternate uniform, it needs to be the Kelly green.
Yeah.
Keenan Harmon wants to know, does the number 7 have any significance? It's on the back of my Whiskey Hill jersey too. That's always been my number.
7.
7's always been my number from Little
It's
League
on your hat too,
to
right?
softball. Yeah, it's on my hat. It's on my Whiskey Hill sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It's on my old Whiskey Hill jerseys. The t-shirt one that the sleeves are cut off now, and the one that was kind of in between that and this. I've always been number 7, and the significance of that is I wasn't left-handed. I didn't play first base. Otherwise, my number would have been 23 for Don Mattingly. I played the outfield, and when I even all the way back to when I was like 10 years old, I started playing center field. I was usually the fastest guy on the field. I batted lead off, and I could run down anything in outfield. So when it came down to pick a number, I wanted a Yankee number, and I picked 7 for Mickey Mantle. That was why I chose number 7. So that's the significance of it. Not that I ever amounted to shit on a ball field, but
Hey, you know what, bro? I don't think anyone carries that number until this day.
Really?
Once Desi comes back, I'll confirm. I don't think anyone carries that number.
That's surprising.
Number 7 for Whiskey Hill. Does anyone carry that number? I don't think so.
No?
Hold on.
I could be wrong. It might be old school, but I mean, old school is he's kind of like a coach. You know?
Yeah. Well, he was doing that when I was still playing.
Right.
And how long that's been that way.
23 years. He I love that man. He saved my life. He took me off the streets and he gave me an opportunity to be a better man. And this is the the byproduct of that. And he really showed me like, hey, there's other things you can do with your life. And my gift to him was bringing him down to softball. I'm like, bro, just come be with me. Come hang out.
Come hang
and
out,
he's
man.
been there ever since, and he's never left. So
yeah,
right? There is no number 7.
I have to pull up my list
I don't think so.
without opening up my computer.
No, don't go through all that trouble.
No. She's got a list. She's got a list right here. I'm telling you, I don't think there's a number 7.
That's weird. Because I mean, it's a single digit. You'd think somebody would.
We have 4s and 6 and
Hannah is 77, so that means Mario's 77.
Hannah 77.
17.
17. That's Travis.
Right.
Shout out to Travis.
77.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's no 7.
So it's still.
Oh, old school's 9.
Old school's 9. So that's right. He's a Sox fan, so that's Ted Williams.
Ted Williams, yeah.
Yep.
And just is 01. So nope, no 7.
Dude.
So it's still Gilmore.
It's still Gilmore.
Yep.
You know what? No one from here on out, no one can take that number.
Right? Wow. We'll see if you get a young stud outfielder, and I'll be quick.
That's righty. Or only if he bats lefty. No, we'll take it back. If he bats lefty, don't do it.
No lefties. Gilmore doesn't bat lefty.
That's interesting. Wow, no one's ever taken 7.
That's surprising.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah,
but yeah, even my old pit stop T-shirt that I still have is number 7.
Yeah.
It's just that I've always been that way.
We have a 77, but not a 7.
Right. So I wonder why somebody went 77. Because usually that's what you go to if 7's already taken.
So on Whiskey Hill, we allow players to share numbers. So
of course.
We have a few 4s. And I'm okay. If the players are good with it, I don't care. But yeah, 7. I remember when you were when you played with us, you had both jerseys. You had the old button down, right?
No. You guys did that. I had already moved away when you did the buttons.
So you had the black with
Cap actually bought me one. When you change to the ones with the buttons,
yeah,
I get a package and the Cap asks for my address, and I open up the package and it's a Whiskey Hill jersey number 7. Yeah. Which is what. So then flash forward a few years when we did that for him a few years ago with these,
right?
Where I wanted to buy it for him because you pay it forward, right?
Yeah, he came down to the field 2 weeks ago during the Seminoles tournament and smoking his cigars,
Always
drinking
drinking his bourbon.
whiskey. Yeah, right. And
That man is living his best life, dude.
he is.
I'm so happy for
I
him.
just love how he checks in. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't say much. How you doing?
Yep.
Everything okay?
And then he Irish exits.
And then he Irish exits. Yeah, that's exactly what he does.
Always fucking Irish exits.
He just
where'd Cap go? He gone.
He gone.
He gone.
He'll
Don't
be
worry
back.
about it. They'll be back. We'll see him next week.
And that's how he is, man. He's actually doing
He's doing a show. He sent me the
he's
details.
doing a show, yeah.
Actually, I think the 23rd is the last day.
It's last weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the lead part in that.
Have you ever seen him live?
I have not been able to. I mean, living out here, you know, I've not actually seen his show, but he sent me the details of this one. He's actually the
really
lead.
good. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. It's something
He's
he always
really
had a
good.
passion for.
Yeah.
And he finally just got to a point where he's like, fuck it, I'm just going to go try to do it. And the man knows everyone, right? Like, he's that guy.
Everyone.
If you need a bottle of olive oil right off a boat from Italy, Cap's got a guy, right? It's just it's always been who he is. Always. Yeah, Russ Taylor. Exits like Batman. Where did he go? That's it. Irish exit, dude. He just gone.
Takes off.
and unless you're like part of his inner circle, you have no fucking clue that he left. None.
And not
he
not
one to say goodbye to like 3 people, and then he's out.
And everyone knows they don't. No one ever takes that as a disrespect.
Nope.
He's just like, that's
just
Cap. Yep.
Yeah.
All
He
right.
don't mean nothing
on.
by it. He's just moving on. That's it.
Yeah, moving on. See you later. I'll be back in
And
a
it
few
ain't like
hours.
he's going home. He's just going to his next spot. That's all he's doing.
Yep. And he's still that same guy.
Yep. He's been that way, dude. He's been that way. I first met Cap, I was like 14 or 15 years old. Yeah. So he's in his early to mid 20s at the time.
Right.
He was that guy then.
Yeah.
Now he was younger and more wild. But I mean, he's always been that guy. Always.
So when you come out here 2024, we should have like a Whiskey Hill kind of like a
so I'm going to be there over at least one full weekend. Yeah,
we'll do a reunion or something. Get everybody together. Martha, Mike.
I'll come down to the field.
Yeah.
Sure, because I'll come in either the week before my brother's event or the week immediately following. So either way, I'll be there on a Sunday.
Okay.
And I'll only be there one Sunday, but I'll be there on a Sunday.
All rise.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All rise.
All rise. Oh yeah.
Well, listen, dude, it's been almost 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah! Wow.
I could sit and talk to you all night, but at some point, I do need to shut this down.
Right.
We can continue to talk, you know, off script, off camera if you want to.
Yeah.
Or if you need to get some rest and go hang out with the wife, I totally get it. So,
I had a meeting tomorrow at 9:30, which would I already told you what the details were. But it got canceled. So you got a day off and you're unchained. Yeah, so we can shut down and then still talk after. No big deal. But I do want to say a few things.
Let's move towards the exit stage here, and you go ahead first, brother.
Guys, safety is important. You know, everyone needs to love each other, life, safety. You good? Oh, sorry, distracted. Squirrel. So it's important that. So this week here in Connecticut, it is safety zone week. You know, if you're on the highways and there's people pulled over on the shoulder, tow trucks, state police, sheriffs, whatever, constables, whatever state and country, you know, wherever you are, move over.
Mounties,
whatever. Move over. Give them space.
Give them a lane.
We've been seeing hearing a lot of people getting struck by vehicles. Just recently, Pat Austin, who was the president of the Milford. I think he was the administrator of the Milford League, rec league, and he died a couple weeks ago. Actually, Good Friday, he was struck by a vehicle. So it's like, if someone's on the side of the road, either you're pulling over to help them or just move over. Get out of the way.
Just move over.
It's a state rule here in Connecticut. I don't know how it is in everywhere else, but this week is safety week, safety zone week. It should be every day. So if everyone could just move over, give each other space, a vehicle going at 30 miles an hour, yes, move and get out of the way, please. Pass it on. I'm a commercial driver myself, so please give us the space we need. Yes, we can be assholes. We get it. I get it. But we need the space.
You do need the space.
Yeah, we do. So move over.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Bitch, get out the way.
Yeah. And don't ride our bumpers. Just either you're way behind us or way in front
goes
of us.
Both ways, Holmes.
Yeah. Yes. But we're trying to get places too. Well, what I'm trying to say is, especially on the side of the road, first off, if you're on the shoulder, get way over. Don't get close to the line.
You're a poet, you didn't know it.
Yeah, right. If you're just changing a fucking flat tire, get off the fucking highway. But please, we have to be safe, and other than that, go Whiskey Hill, and we're super excited with the 51st annual season for softball here at Bridgeport. We're super excited, and yeah, go Niners. Can I say
Go
that?
Niners, he says. Get the hell out of here with the Go Niners. I'm going to piggyback on that. Safety is always first. I do see a lot of people that just go blowing right by folks, not moving over when they have the space to move over and they're still not moving. It's bullshit. In particular, when it's your cops over there, first responders, stuff like that.
First responders, right?
Yeah, these people are out there. They put their lives on the line for all of us on a day in, day out basis. Show them some respect. Move the hell over. For my folks who may or may not listen here in Ohio, Ohio did just pass the law. You are not allowed to have your phone in your hand officially anymore when you are driving. If you are caught, they are going to ticket you. I promise you, this is going to be a thing. They are going to set up. I saw this happen in Tennessee when we were down there. What they did was they packed cops in a school bus with tinted windows. So nobody, it's a school bus. And they just kept right about what they were doing. And they just started radioing this license plate, make and model, bam, pulling them over.
Let's
right
go.
up and down the highway.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're going to see the same thing happen here.
Yeah.
At least initially, to get the word out, we're not fucking around.
I love that.
So, I
mean, that's kind of entrapment, but it's kind of cool.
Russ Taylor, eat dick, go Niners.
We're coming back for you guys.
No, it's fuck you, Javon Hargrave. Damn it.
I'm good on my end. Bro. I love
good on
you.
your end. Look, I'm always thankful for all the time you give us. The support is always unbelievable, and for all of you that hang with us when we do this, Russ, Keenan are the bad. There's a couple other people in here, but they're not saying anything. It is always my pleasure to hopefully entertain y'all for however long we're on that night. Usually I'm a little over an hour, but given that it was a Friday night, wanted to have a little bit more fun and let it loose a little bit.
It's not a 4-hour show like we did last time.
Right? No. So for Green Legion Radio, for the Gilmores behind the door over here, for Fito, Desi, Papo, and Maribel. Fuck, stuttering. And for the Whiskey Hill family, this has been the Unhappy Hour, Unhappy Gilmore Show, powered by Green Legion Radio and part of the Green Legion Radio family. We thank you as always for joining us. We will see you next Wednesday for the 1-year anniversary of this show.
Count
Very
me
proud
in.
of that. I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
wait to talk to you all next week. It's also the night right before the draft, so we're going to talk strictly NFL draft. I might, something baseball wise might piss me off in between. I gave you guys a couple rants tonight. Hadn't done it in a few weeks, so there you go. Anyways, y'all, take care. Have a great night. Have a very safe weekend, and we will talk to you next Wednesday. And as always, much to Fito's chagrin, and I'm going to mute him right now so he can't say anything. Go Birds! All right, there's no way I can take much more of that. Fito's already holding up a Niners hat, and I don't really want to hear what he has to say. So, you guys, take care. We love you so much. Be safe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.